going on now. Find Hot Buys for every room starting at just $199. Plus, for a limited time, pay no interest until up to 2030 when you buy in store. Only at Ashley.
Shop the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale this Friday to Monday and get valuable Labor Day bonus coupons in your mailbox, online, or on the Rooms to Go app. Coupons good Friday to Monday Labor Day. Coupons that save you big money on great-looking furniture. Shop now and get extra savings with your bonus coupons. Plus, to make buying even easier, finance interest-free until March 2030. Use your Rooms to Go Labor Day bonus coupons Friday to Monday.
Before our service would be in and out, we wanted to switch to T-Mobile to make sure that we have better coverage.
T-Mobile is now the best network, and with the most satellites, we're connecting hundreds of thousands in places where cell towers can't reach with T-Satellite.
I signed up for T-Satellite to give me peace of mind as a mom that makes life better knowing that it's there when we need it.
Upgrade to the best network. Right now, switch and save at least 20% versus AT&T and Verizon. Plus, your plan price is guaranteed for 5 years.
Ashley's Labor Day sale is going on now. For a limited time, you can save up to $800 off select adjustable mattress sets. Plus, you can snooze now and pay later with no interest until up to 2030 when you buy in store. Only at Ashley.
This is Conway Medical Center's Friday Night Rivals, powered by Mr. Sparky on the CW21.
Live from Jewel McLaurin Stadium in Lakeview, South Carolina. Another trip to small town USA and high school football Friday night. It feels like week 0 all over again, but it is week 1 in high school, Coach, and the Lakeview Wild Gators a big win on Thursday night. This is Mullins' season opener.
Yeah, and it's always advantageous to have a game behind you, and so I think that would be to Lakeview's credit right now.
Yeah, the Mullins Auctioneers were supposed to play last week against Hemingway, but Coach Lowry found out on Monday that their season, the Hemingway season that is going to be canceled. They're going to play a light JV schedule, so Mullins basically had to wait around a week, and now they get a crazy Wild Gators team that they're in 18th season. They're crazy that Darrell King is in his 18th year here.
Yeah, when I hear that, it dates me.
It does.
I remember Darrell when he was a little puppy, but he's been here that long. It's crazy.
And he's won a ton of state championships. They were 11-2 last year in the lower state finals, and they're good again this year, and we're going to talk more about them coming up. But first, let's go talk to our friend Rodney Berry. He's with the athletic director of Lakeview, Brandy Huggins.
It's great to be back, and we're here in the swamp, and there's gators in them swamps. I know because I've been bit by one before. We're here with Brandy Huggins, the athletic director for Lakeview. Great to have you here tonight.
Thank you. It's great to be here tonight.
What a great crowd, and you know, championships always come through little rural Lakeview. What kind of pressure is that on the athletic director?
It's a lot of pressure, but it's a lot of pressure more on each individual coaches. But everybody comes to the town to know that Lakeview's proud of making the championships and being a part of the tradition, and so the kids just fall into it and enjoy it.
Well said. You know, what does it mean in rural South Carolina for the community to have this game? I mean, this is the marquee thing that happens all week.
Friday Night Lights is everything in Lakeview. That's what it's all about. That's what you look forward to. That's what the year comes to, is being out here on Friday night watching Lakeview Wild Gator football.
Outstanding. Okay, so we got our friends at Conway Medical Center. Have a little gift for you here. $500 check.
Thank you, and we appreciate it. And thank y'all so much for coming out with us tonight.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rodney. And Brandy was so good to us last year. When we were here, it was a great time, and the Lakeview Wild Gators, such success here. Like I said, Bill Pate before Jewel McLaurin, and now Darrell King, all kinds of state championships for this program. We'll talk more about it when we come back from this timeout. You're watching the Friday Night Rivals on
I was hit by a drunk driver. I wanted justice and results. George Sink got me both. My recovery, $3 million.
Go with the name you know and trust.
Get George Sink Law Firm on the line. Call 999-999.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move. In the moments you choose motion over stillness. In every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Want to recycle plastic bags? Be sure to do it right. Plastic bags are a serious contaminant when processing recyclables. Therefore, they are not accepted for recycling in your curbside cart or at recycling centers. Plastic bags can be recycled by returning them to retail stores, like grocery or department stores. Visit www.solidwasteauthority.org or www.recyclerightsc.org for more info on how to recycle right, South Carolina.
At HTC, we're here to keep you connected, here to help you work and play better from home. And most importantly, here with HTC Smart Wi-Fi, providing a safe, secure, and reliable fiber optic connection. We're HTC, and we're here for you, so you can be there for all of life's best moments. Stay better connected. Build closer connections. Connect with HTC Internet. HTC, here to connect.
Hurt? Don't settle for less.
The team at George Sink took care of everything. My recovery, $1.5 million.
Go with the name you know and trust.
Get George Sink Law Firm on the line. Call 999-999.
Back at Jewel McLaurin Stadium in Lakeview, South Carolina, where the Wild Gators host the Mullins Auctioneers tonight in Week 1 of the Friday Night Rivals. And we take a look at the Horry County Solid Waste Authority starting lineups. The Auctioneers will get the football first because Lakeview won the toss and elected to defer. Naz Bethay will be your starting quarterback with Michael Coleman behind him. You'll see a lot of Andre Littlejohn, Anthony Campbell, and Tyron Allen as well. The wide receivers are Antoine Crawford, Braden Hughes, and Keith Bridget. And the H-back is Amir Lee. The front 5 for the Auctioneers are LaShawn Hughes, Chris Henderson, Jyrell P., DeAndre Stackhouse, and Javion Howard from left to right. And the Wild Gators will get the football. Actually, Mullins will get the football first as the Wild Gators in their home blue with gold breeches and gold helmets, and Mullins in all white tonight. And the kick is deep, and it's going to be caught about the 19-yard line, brought out to the 20, 25, close to the 27-yard line. Good return for Mullins. The Wild Gators defense looks like this. It's a 3-4 with Balin Rice, Nick McNeil, and Tyree Ford as your front 3, left to right. The strong side linebacker is Terrence Alford. Weak side backer is Seth Deese. The inside backers are Landon King and Gabe Lee. The cornerbacks are J.T. Atkinson and Emil Rowland. The safeties are Bryce King and Jalen Clark. Starting 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line, Coach.
Yeah, and Alan, I think that Lakeview is light at linebacker, and Mullins said that's where they're going to run the football, is right at those linebackers. So we'll see how they hold up. Now, Landon King is one of the leaders in there, and that tackle then was made by Bryce King, I think. And Landon King and Gabe Lee, and basically they're going to slant the front, and they're going to bring one inside and one outside backer about every play.
Coach Lowry, in his 3rd year at Mullins, told me earlier in the week, he and I talked for about 30 minutes on Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's a nice run by Kanazion Bethay. Bethay picks up the first down and moves the chains into or close to Lakeview territory. But we talked for about a half an hour. He never told me that DeQuavius Smith would get the start. He was like the fourth back, but he's the first guy who carries the football tonight.
Yeah, but let me tell you, the guy that they are worried about, that the Gators are worried about, is Naz Bethea.
Yes.
And he has actually been the leading rusher and the leading passer for the last 2 years in a row for their team.
Indeed. He ran for 491 yards last year and threw for over 1,280 and 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, and they're going to have a committee of backs again, and both teams, I think, have that tonight, and we'll see.
Again, Mullins in all white with the white helmets, and Mullins across the top, and Lakeview in the road or home blue with gold numbers, white trim, and gold breeches and helmets. Here's a toss sweep or a jet sweep, and it's pulled down in the backfield. Great pursuit by the Lakeview defense.
Yeah, that was outside linebacker Terrence Alford, and basically he came up on the line of scrimmage. As we said, they're going to bring those backers all night.
So this is going to be third down and extra long, about 13. Ball at the 44-yard line.
Yeah.
As Lakeview takes down the running back deep in the backfield. Andre Littlejohn is in the backfield now with quarterback Naz Bethea, and Bethea is going to get rid of it, but it's intercepted. This one may go back to the end zone. It is a touchdown for J.T. Atkinson and the Lakeview Wild Gators on the first possession of the night.
And keep your eyes open, because I see a flag, and I don't know if we can get a recall of that or not, because I did see somebody block, but I saw the tail end of it going down. So I don't know who it was against, but nonetheless, that was a great pick. And anytime you throw those out cuts, you got to throw them on time, Allen. And he threw that one a little bit late, and the defensive back had a lot of break time on it.
Atkinson read the eyes of the quarterback perfectly, stepped in front of that pass. It is going to be brought back, but it's going to be Wild Gators football as a block in the back on the return that took it to the house.
Yeah, and you know, the biggest problem with those defensive players, when they get a chance to block somebody, they're usually not going to give up that chance, especially if they can blindside somebody.
So Lakeview with Chase Price at quarterback, Jalen Clark, the running back. The wide receivers are Emil Rowland, Terrence Alford, Seth Deese, and David Hyatt. As timeout is on the field as we look at the Horry County Solid Waste Authority starting lineups for the Gators offense. The front five: Jalen Jones, Alonzo Hamilton, Riley McCormick, Farian Seymour, and Finn Miller. For the defense, for the Auctioneers, the rush end is Javian Howard. The drop end is Chandler Green. The nose guard is Jyrell P. The linebackers from left to right: Antoine Crawford, Nathan Paraki, Andre Littlejohn, and Braden Hughes. The corners are Justin Reeves and Terrian Grant, and Dakari Worley and Dayon Ford. And Lakeview thinks they've got a touchdown.
And Alan, I want to mention, let's see.
They're gonna pick up the flag and call that a Lakeview touchdown on the return.
Well, and they probably declined a penalty. They simply declined it.
Oh, the penalty was against Mullins, says the public address announcer. So it is. They pointed the wrong direction. Lakeview thought that it was not going to be a touchdown. Now they're going to go for two. Here's Chase Price on his first give of the night. He actually throws to the tight end, and it's a touchdown for Seth Deese. He may be their best receiver, Coach.
Yes, he is. And the other part of this story so far with the offense, they only have one returning offensive lineman. Coach King actually said, no, Coach, we have two, but my other one is at quarterback. And you can see this is the interception.
Yeah, the Mr. Sparky replay on the interception that he stepped right in front of. I did too. So,
and that was a 51-yard interception return. You don't get a chance of that much on defense.
So the penalty goes against Mullins, and now it's going to be a penalty It was the obviously declined, and the touchdown will stand, but Lakeview was called for a penalty on the 2-point conversion that was completed to Seth Deese. Now they're going to have to do it over again.
Yeah, they're going to have to replay from the 8-yard line, and they're going for it.
So no kickers. They're going to go for two.
So again, we got a center snapping to a starting center from the year before.
That's right. The quarterback, Chase Price, was the center last year. Now he's playing quarterback. He's going to keep it himself, and he throws a jump pass to a wide-open receiver in the end zone. I believe that was Jalen Clark out of the backfield.
Yeah, and, that corner was put in a bind then because he saw Price coming out there, and he responded to that, and as soon as he set his feet, the receiver slipped in behind him. But as I was saying, Alan, from last year, he said he actually had two offensive linemen returning, but one of them he had to move to quarterback. So Price was the offensive center last year.
Coach, let's take a look at the keys to the game tonight.
Well, I think the biggest key is going to be Lakeview's ability, it's going to be Mullins' ability to rush the football. They feel like they got to be able to run it. They feel like they have a size advantage up front. And then I think Lakeview has changed a bit offensively, and they've spread it out a little bit more. So their ability to throw the ball is going to be key here too.
And the Myrtle Beach Hyundai, remember, no games, no gimmicks, just good deals at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. Keys to the game tonight, and a nice run by the quarterback. Actually, it was the snap directly.
And that was Lance Jackson on the
Dakari
tackle.
Worley.
He's a 5'9", 150-pound senior, and that was pretty good return then, Alan.
Yeah, Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician, actually is our kickoff and our keys to the game sponsor. And the kickoff return brings it all the way back to the 42-yard line. Make it the 43, 1st and 10 for Mullins. They hand off inside to Michael Coleman, and he is gobbled up in a hurry by Terrence Alford.
I don't know if we can see that again on film, but they had both the inside and outside backer coming, and they actually had a safety blitz, and they were expecting something between the tackles. And I think that Darryl understands that he's a little light in the butt at the linebacker position, so he's letting those defensive backs be more than a support issue.
So 8-0 to start this one early as Lakeview scored on defense with an interception on the first possession. I see Shaquille Leonard come running down the sideline. The former NFL Rookie of the Year helps out this Lakeview defense as a former Wild Gator himself. And now quarterback Naz Bethea comes outside as gang tackled, but not before he gets right to the first down marker.
And that's what Bethea does best. He really puts you in a position where you can't afford to rush the passer quite as efficiently, simply because he's got wheels. He can get outside and he can hurt you with the run.
So 1st and 10 for Mullins inside Lakeview territory. Last time they got to this position, they threw the interception, a 51-yard return for a touchdown by J.T. Atkinson.
And that was Landon King on the tackle, and Coach King says that he is one of his leaders defensively.
Two receivers to the top, one to the bottom side of the screen, and he keeps it himself on the Q counter.
We've got a flag on the sideline over there about midfield, and it's probably a movement penalty or even an offsides.
Yeah, it's in the backfield.
Yeah, typically on an offsides, they'll kill it.
And it is against Mullins, so it's going to back them up 5 yards. It'll be first down again, unless they decline the penalty, which they may do. It was a 3-yard pickup, make it 2nd down and 7. Let's see if they take the penalty. We're going to have an official timeout on the field. 8-0 Lakeview as Mullins has the football, driving for the second time as we take timeout. This is the CMC Friday Night Rivals on the CW21.
Wiring issues, sparking electrical outlets, circuit breaker tripping? Call the electrical experts at Mr. Sparky and let us help you with any of your electrical problems. We install whole home generators, electric panels, indoor and outdoor lighting, and maintain solar electrical systems and more. We're here for you 24 hours a day, and we still don't charge to come out during normal business hours. No job is too big or too small. Call us, Mr. Sparky, and we'll be right over.
Robison Community College, your source for higher education and short-term training needs. Offering accounting, basic law enforcement training, cosmetology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, electrical systems, EMS, HVAC, mechatronics, medical office administration, respiratory therapy, radiography, university transfer, artificial intelligence, welding, and more. Online and face-to-face instruction available. Learn more at robison.edu.
Aprende inglés gratis en RCC.
Lakeview Wild Gators cheerleaders there, already up by 8 to start this one, as they were 11-2 last year, lower state finalists, and 1-0 on this year after beating Marion last Thursday night to open the season 26-13. Now, the ball is marked at the 44-yard line. There was a penalty against Mullins. They either picked it up or Mullins decided to decline the penalty, or Lakeview.
Yeah,
Lakeview
and I can't imagine not taking that penalty, so I have an idea it was picked up, Alan.
So that was probably, a nullified penalty, so it's going to be 2nd down and 7, and Naz Bethea takes off again, and he gains about half of what's needed for the first down across the 40 to the 38-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and call it 1.
Yeah, and Mullins is going to incorporate 3 or 4 receivers just on about every series. Every now and then they'll roll an H-back in. But what they want to do is try to spread that defense out as much as they can and give Naz some running room in there if indeed his receivers aren't open. But that's their thoughts on the game. And I know defensively they feel like their linebackers are going to have to make some plays in the backfield.
Landon King on the tackle, and he stops him just a yard short. And now on 3rd down, Naz is trying to tiptoe his way to the first down and a whole lot more. To the 15, to the 10, inside to around the 8-yard line, and the football is free. And Lakeview says they have it, and so do the officials.
Says it's Lakeview. Yeah, I hope we get to see, and that was
wow.
Amel Rowland, it looks like, that came up with the football, I think, Alan.
Yeah, let's watch it again on the Mr. Sparky replay. He tiptoed past one defender, and he was off to the races. I thought he was going to score for sure, and when he changed hands with the football, it came out.
There's no doubt that ball came out before he hit the ground, and that is a big play for Lakeview.
So it was Terrence Alford, says our spotter. We got a good one tonight from Lakeview. Good job, Bo.
Yeah, he's good as long as Lakeview's got the ball.
Oh, he's Lakeview from head to toe, ain't he?
Oh, I guarantee you.
So 1st and 10 for the Wild Gators after stopping Mullins deep in their own territory. 1st and 10 from the 5.
And this is a tough area to come out of. Expect to see a lot of pressure on the ball.
Chase Price takes the snap, a direct snap, and he takes it on the quarterback draw for maybe a yard. We'll call it 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see them real simple coming out down here, because what your goal is when you're backed up like that is try to get a first down on the ground and get to a point where you can turn the ball over to the other team on the other side of the 50. And that's your goal down there. Now, the ultimate goal is to score from down there, but the probability is not so high.
Conway Medical Center, compassionate care you can trust. And they gave Brandy Huggins and Lakeview a $500 check to start this game tonight. They'll give $5,000 to area schools throughout the coming year. 2nd down and 9. From the 6, Chase Price again takes the snap, hands off to Chandler Clark this time, and Clark is bottled up right at the line of scrimmage, may have lost a yard.
Yeah, and Mullins did, as they said, they're employing a 3-man front, but they're using their linebackers to fill the gaps that are vacated, and have had a pretty successful job at it so far. Mark was real complicit about the fact that he had to stop the run against Lakeview.
So they did lose a half yard, so we'll call it 3rd down and 10 back at the 5.5-yard line, and Lakeview huddling in their own end zone. That's not a normal position for the Wild Gators. And you see that wall that's right behind the end zone on the Gators' end, and you don't want a wide receiver to dive for one at the back of the end zone, do you, Coach? Here's 3rd down and 10. Quarterback, Q counter, keeps it himself, picks up about 5, and he's going to be short of the first down after a host of auctioneers pull him down after a pickup of 5 or 6, so it'll be 4th down and a chance for the Wild Gators to punt it away deep in their own territory.
This is a time where you really would like to come after the football on defense. You may give them a ball on the 25, 30-yard line, but your chances of getting your hand on that ball are better early in the year because people, even though they've got special teams, they're not quite as sharp.
Is Lakeview going for it here at their own 11-yard line?
Well, you got to understand that the quarterback is also the punter.
That's true.
So
he is the punter.
It could be, but it may not be.
So
he may quick kick it here.
Chase Price is trying to draw him offside to get the first down, but instead they call timeout. That's the smart move.
Yes, it was.
So we'll take it with them. It's the CNC Friday Night Rivals from Lakeview with the Gators in front, 8-0 on CW21.
At HTC, we're here to keep you connected, here to help you work and play better from home. And most importantly, here with HTC Smart Wi-Fi, providing a safe, secure, and reliable fiber optic connection. We're HTC, and we're here for you, so you can be there for all of life's best moments. Stay better connected. Build closer connections. Connect with HTC Internet. HTC, here to connect.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your healthcare is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
Back at Jewel McLaurin Stadium at Lakeview High School, and a wonderful Friday night. I got in the car this afternoon, Coach, and it was 104 degrees. I said, please. But we get here, and it's mild tonight. Got some fans going. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it feels good. It's good football weather, and I would say in the 80s and a little bit of a breeze, not too much. Most of it's the hot air I'm getting from Allen.
Yes. Mullins' season opener, and Lakeview, after a 26-13 win last week, is 1-0 on the year here at home in their first game of the season for the Wild Gator fans. And they are actually lining up to punt now on 4th down and 5.
Yeah, and Price is punting out of the end zone.
Yeah, so here comes the rush. He gets it away, end over end. It's going to be caught and returned. Nice coverage, but, boy, that's going to be great field position for Mullins deep in Lakeview territory.
And that was Bryce King on the tackle, and that's his second tackle on special teams, and so he's extremely valuable there. And you know, I think that they are very concerned about Mullins' return capabilities.
Sure.
And they did a good job spreading out on the field then as they're coming down. That's the biggest problem you have early on is kids want to bunch up, but you got to make them spread out.
So 1st and 10 deep in Lakeview territory. This is as deep as Mullins has penetrated, except when they fumbled the football at the 5-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 35 with a single setback and 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Right side is the boundary side, and they grab the running back in the backfield.
And that was Gabriel Lee with a couple of other. Gabriel's the only freshman on the roster, and so he's stepping in there and doing a great job as a young guy.
It was Anthony Campbell on the carry. He picked up 1. He was the second leading rusher last year for Mullins at 125 yards on the season behind Tyrone Allen, but they lost a couple of major running backs during the offseason. So Mullins, maybe last year under Mark Lowry in his third year, had their best season that they've had in a while. Lowry is 7-14 as the head coach. Here's a toss across the middle. Great catch. Nice job by Keith Bridget. Bridget gets it inside the 15, actually around the 16-yard line.
Yeah, and I thought that Naz did a great job then kind of working himself free. He's got so much quickness and evasive, but that was a meal rolling on the tackle.
And that is the Robinson Community College Red Zone. From the red zone to the real world, Robinson Community College gets you there.
You know, Alan, I think they're struggling with the idea, do you put a lot of pressure on Naz or do you let him sit back there?
That's a good question because Naz can beat you just like that. He's completed a couple of passes, but you don't want him to get out of the pocket.
And he's a good throwing runner, but I'd rather him throw the daggone football than run it.
Well, he's completed a couple of passes already tonight, but like you said, he is dangerous with the football in his hands.
Yeah, and what happens when he drops back and buys time in the pocket, the defense is dropping. So once he does get up in there, he's got room to run.
Antoine Crawford is split wide to the right. You have two to the left. That's the field side. And they hand off up the middle to Anthony Campbell, and Campbell goes down after maybe a gain of 2. Landon King on the tackle again for Lakeview.
And they're looking.
He's been in there everything.
And they're looking at a 3rd and 8, which is tough, and it's especially tough when you're this close down simply because the deep coverage of the secondary can tighten up on you a little bit. But this is going to be an important call.
It's 3rd down and long.
I believe they're going to put Naz on the roll.
I would think you're right. He's rolling out to his left. Now he cuts it back up inside. He tries to get rid of the football, finally does, finds an open man who's going to avoid a couple of tackles and take it into the house. Terrence make that Andre Littlejohn for the touchdown.
And Andre scored the touchdown, but the rest of it was all Naz, because I tell you what, he did a great job. And, you know, he showed some strength here, too. If you look,
yeah,
he can move, obviously, but he's got hands on him all over, and he showed a lot of strength. The thing that's so impressive to me about Naz is that he keeps his eyes downfield.
I was going to say that, Coach. He never gave up on the play. He found an open receiver, and he was able to avoid a couple of tackles and take it to the end zone for the Hope Health touchdown. Hope Health, your health begins here. And they're going for 2 to try to tie it. Throwing into the end zone. The catch is made, and it looks like he's got it in. Yes.
And that knocks it up. That was a 4-play, 35-yard drive, and the touchdown pass was on a 14-yard touchdown pass. That was a 2-minute drive. It didn't seem that long.
Keith Bridget with the 2-point conversion, and Naz Bethay has come to play tonight. This Mullins team is not backing down. I know they're the 3A team, and Lakeview is 1A, but Lakeview is a force.
He reminds me of a guy I played with in college, Jody Salmon, who was our quarterback. He was tall and skinny and so evasive, and you just couldn't get your hands on him. And that's what I'm seeing now is they're just struggling, but he's a lot stronger than he appears to be.
Yeah, Naz, only 174 pounds, but he is 6'3", and he's got the presence of mind to keep looking downfield, like you said.
Well, most of the quarterbacks that can look downfield like that can run. We had a kid back in the days, Mikael Moody, and his greatest asset was his ability to throw once the play broke down. And I'm seeing that same quality in Naz.
I remember Mikael Moody. Fumble! Ball is still free on the Mr. Sparky kickoff, and it's going to be a Mullins football as they fall on the free ball at around the 30-yard line.
Well, and I got to give credit for that play to Coach Mark Lowry. I heard him coaching his kicker up in pregame as I was down there watching to do exactly what he just did.
Well, the receiver tried to catch it, in the air, and it just ricocheted right off his hands.
And then the problem is you actually can see the guy coming.
Right.
And you got to focus on that football, but there's somebody right fixing to put a beat on you, and that's why that's a tough catch to make.
62 seconds left in the first quarter, and Mullins is in scoring position again.
Golly,
actually at the 40-yard line.
This quarter's gone fast.
Let's try to get this one going even faster as the official gave a sideline warning to Lakeview. Coach Darrell King is giving the official what for on the sideline.
He showed him with that flag, didn't he?
Yeah. So that's the first warning to Lakeview. Here's the 1st and 10, a low snap. Naz is having to run for his life, and he is gang tackled in the backfield.
And that's the first time they've gotten to him, and I think that's exactly what Coach King was talking about pregame. They got to be able to keep him in the box back there. That tackle was made by Balin Rice, and it was an important one. He came off the edge, by the way.
Yeah, he did, and he got a lot of help. He had help from Seth Deese and Emil Rowland.
And he is a 5'7", 145-pound defensive end, but he plays his behind off.
So Naz Rowland taken down for a 9-yard loss. So it's 2nd down and 19. Here's the snap. They're going to throw the backwards pass. So little underneath screen.
I initially thought it was a double pass just because of the depth that he threw the ball with.
Exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Because the point there is that if he doesn't catch that ball, it's a live ball.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was going to be certainly a double pass, but we have got the first quarter comes to an end, and we are tied at 8, and Mullins is begging for it again. And we'll come back with a long 3rd down coming up on the Friday Night Rivals presented by CMC.
Clogged toilets? Is your kitchen sink backed up? Do you have a leaking faucet? Call the experts at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing and let us help with any of your plumbing problems. We repair leaky or broken water heaters, fix frozen pipes, unclog sewer lines, and even repair garbage disposals. We're here for you 24 hours a day, and we still don't charge to come out during regular business hours. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move, in the moments you choose motion over stillness, in every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Sometimes unwanted guests show up unannounced, and they refuse to leave. They make themselves at home, making life uncomfortable. But that's when you call A&I to show that unwanted guest the door and keep them from coming back. You can rely on A&I to kick mold out for good.
Hello everybody, I'm Cecil Chandler. What do you look for when you're buying a new car? A great warranty, a great price, and great safety features? Myrtle Beach Hyundai has all of that. The Kona has 2.99% interest rate for 48 months with leases starting at $249. The Tucson has 3.99% interest rate for 72 months with leases starting at $229. And remember, no payments for 90 days. Come see us at Myrtle Beach Hyundai, South Carolina's #1 Hyundai dealership.
You're watching your CW21.
Back again at Jewel McLaurin Stadium, and at the end of the first quarter, we're tied at 8, but Coach, it's felt like that Lakeview has controlled things, although Mullins has all the offense.
Well, you know, Lakeview has 5 yards of offense thus far, and they had 1 fumble, and Mullins has 96 yards of offense.
Crazy.
Now, the interception was a big deal, no question about it. But it's going to be interesting to see if Lakeview is able to establish a running game as they go forward, because obviously the big play is what Mullins does best.
Well, Naz Bethea has controlled the Lakeview defense for the most of the game, but this one snapped over his head all the way back to the 22, the 20-yard line, and Lakeview covers it up. And it's a loss of about 20 yards on the play. It's going to bring up third down and a country mile.
Yeah, and you can see here it's over his head, and he did the best thing he could with that ball. I might have jumped on it from the get-go, but everybody wants to pick up and do what they can. You know, the thing that I did notice early when I talked with both coaches, both of them said that the key and the playmaker was the quarterback. On Mullins' side, Naz was their playmaker, and he was the key to their offense. The thing that I find interesting when I talk to both coaches is I ask them about their concerns, but the other coaches' concerns, and both coaches felt like he was the key to the ball game.
It's actually 4th down and 39. So they need to get all the way to the 30-yard line. Obviously, they're going to punt it away.
Yeah, 4th and 900.
Dakari Worley is the kicker, and he gets a good one away. High and fairly deep. It's going to be downed at the 39-yard line. So,
you know,
Mullins.
One of the things that always concerns you in a game like this, Alan, sorry for interrupting.
Sorry?
But you always worry about your special teams because you hadn't really had a chance to see them in the open. And I know Coach Lowry made a comment before the game. He said, I hate messing with special teams early on. But it's something you have to put time into. So don't be surprised that you don't see another big play with special teams before it's all said and done.
Lakeview lost a ton of offensive players during the offseason after that lower state finals picks. What's that, Coach?
He said, get your mic closer.
It's in my mouth as it is. Be that as it may, we got the trying to find the career. Yeah, Darrell King in his 18th year. It doesn't have his career record, but last season 11-2 and a lower state finalist. So what a season that this Lakeview team, and it's almost like every season.
Yeah, it is, and yet you got to appreciate what Mark Lowry has done since he came to Mullins. This being his 3rd year, you've seen constant progress since he got there.
Here's the snap to Chase Price. Price takes it off tackle right on the Q counter, and it picks up about 4, maybe 5. We'll call it 2nd down and 6. Benjamin Franklin is the punctual plumber. And
Price is on the turf, it looks like. Is that Price?
No, that's the lineman.
Okay.
I believe it's Farian Seymour. And we're going to take time out on the field with a 8-8 tie midway through the second quarter. Come back and join us for the Conway Medical Center Friday Night Rivals.
Life can get a little hectic, and sometimes things slip through the cracks. But when life overflows, A&I is ready to step in. Our team acts fast to restore your home and bring peace back to your life. You can rely on A&I when life overflows.
"75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. You either earn your stripes or you see your number slashed off the list. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
The injured player for Lakeview is actually Finn Miller. The 6'3", 240-pound senior is coming off on his own power. But during the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA, the NHTSA, The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Paid for by NHTSA. You see.
And, Alan, it's going to be interesting here. I think Lakeview really needs to establish themselves on the ground.
Absolutely.
They've been trying to run some power and a little Q counter, and I think you'll see a little bit more of that. But they really haven't had much space up front.
Was watching the NC State East Carolina game last night, Coach, and they called Q counter more times than I can remember. Both teams.
You love your Wolfies, don't you?
Yeah, well, they were not impressive last night. Even though they won, we had to hold on by the hair of our chinny chin.
And we got a flag in the backfield, and it's in the secondary, so it's a matter of somebody either grabbing somebody. We'll see what it is. It's usually a big penalty when it's back there.
Right at the line of scrimmage, and it looks like it's going to be marked off against the home team as they'll march it backwards. That was 2nd down and 7. So it's going to be a hold all the way back inside the 25-yard line.
You know, I thought I saw the flag in the secondary, and what it was is that daggum player's shoes. Why in the world you want yellow shoes? I have no idea.
Well, one's got pink shoes and another one's got yellow shoes.
That's when your colors are blue and red and white.
Yeah, well, I'm really getting mixed up tonight, Coach, because Mullins has always, in my opinion, been red and white.
Yeah.
And they're wearing blue tonight. And the Wild Gators are blue, and I try to color code my spotter board, and it's holding me up a little bit. Here's Chase Price. Price looking deep, throws across the middle. He's got a man wide open, and he catches it right at the 50-yard line. Way more than enough for a first down for Lakeview.
And that was Justin Reeves, and it looked like he ran a crosser, a deep crosser from this side and kind of posted. And basically they had cover 3 in the secondary, but he was short of where the free safety was. A nice throw then.
Emil Rowland, a 5'10", 165-pound junior, picks up the first down into Mullins territory. Big completion for Chase Price. Single receivers either side. Got one in the slot about 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. He stepped back, but they hand off to Lance Jackson, and Jackson is taken down 2 yards deep.
And you got to appreciate the penetration they're getting up front. They got a lot of movement up front on defense, and they've been stout against the run.
Price comes all the way to the sideline and convenes with assistant coach Shaquille Leonard. Actually, Shaquille is one of the defensive coaches. He was NFL Rookie of the Year from right here at Lakeview a few years ago.
Yeah, and, you know, it's nice to have him on the sideline.
Yeah.
If things get too bad, put him on the
It
field.
looks like he can still play.
Ain't no doubt.
3 receivers to the top of your screen. 1 to the bottom. Single setback. To the right. Price goes that way. Receiver catches the football, but right at the original line of scrimmage, so only about a 2-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and, you know, I've noticed Mullins in the secondary are playing pretty tight coverage. And I think those long balls to the outside, they're pretty close to him, so that's a concern. That play then was made by Terrence Grant, bringing him down.
We're about 4 minutes into the second quarter. We'll take a look at other games that are just getting started around the area.
And actually that was Terrion Grant, and he's a corner, and they flip their corners based on the receivers.
Twins right and left. Single setback. Price directs traffic, looks deep. Now he steps up into the pocket, and he's going to be converged on. Gets it away. Nice job. And this could be a big gainer. It's a first down for Lakeview. And a nice job by Price to do what Naz Bethea did earlier, keep looking for his checkdowns. And he found a receiver, even though he was wrapped up.
Well, and just his pure strength then made that play. He was able to stay in there, and The irrigation system has come on, Alan.
They just started the sprinklers. All right.
You know, the only concern I have for Lakeview is don't cut on the irrigation when you're throwing the ball well.
Hey, Rodney Berry is with Principal Rodney Cook here at Lakeview High School on the sideline.
Hey guys, I'm with childhood friend Rodney Cook, who's the principal here at Lakeview. Quite the player in his day, but made the transition to administration. Look, y'all got a lot of great things going on here at Lakeview outside of sports.
Yeah, we do, Rodney. Very excited about this school year. This year, last year we had 3 vacancies. Fortunate enough to hire 3 experienced teachers, certified. I'm happy for what they bring to us. Also excited about what we have coming back with experience and knowledge. So we're super excited about that transition. We also got a lot of our students are going to the technology center this school year, so we're excited about that, which gives them an opportunity to go on after high school, after graduation, getting into the workforce. So super excited for them. And also we're college and career ready 100%, so that's one thing that we've been working on and pushing hard this school year.
Well, I know Lakeview really appreciates your leadership. It shows.
Well, I appreciate you, Rodney, and thank you so much for all that y'all do for high school sports.
Yeah. Billy, Chuck, back to you guys.
Thank you there, Rodney. And the 2 Rodneys, childhood friends, as he said. And Rodney is a native of Marion, so it's just down the street here. But I had to come through Mullins to get here tonight, and I went right by an elementary school called North Mullins Elementary. Is there a North Mullins? I mean, that's like Upper Conway, Lower Ainer, isn't it, Coach?
I guess so, but I'm not getting in that conversation.
I'm going, North Mullins, really? So, and it was a great little town. I love Mullins, don't get me wrong. And matter of fact, one of my big sponsors, Will Webster of Rivals, A Store Divided, and the Palmetto Outpost, and all are located in Mullins. So they're good folks in the Dillon, Marion area, Dillon County, Marion County. They're awesome, and we've got a long time out here because Lakeview is thinking this one over deep in Mullins territory.
Yeah, and you know, just looking at what the coaches told me in pregame and what is so far revealed itself, they were pretty accurate. I think that Coach Lowry's biggest concern was just being able to keep the quarterback in the box, and he wanted to make them have to throw the football. Well, he has made them throw it, but they've been successful throwing it. Now, on the other side of the equation, Lakeview's primary concern was keeping that quarterback contained and eliminate his big plays. Well, that's where Mullins has seen success. They've had some big plays, and it's been because Naz ran wild. Now, what Lakeview's doing right now, they haven't done yet, and they're controlling the football. And the best thing you can do for a quarterback like that is keep the ball out of his hands.
Lakeview opened the scoring with a 51-yard interception return for a touchdown. The 2-point conversion was converted after a penalty. And, Coach, you've been in this position that Darrell King is in after having a Bill Pate and a Jewel McLaurin precede him, like you had Julius Derrick and Buddy Sasser precede you at Conway. That's some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, and you know, Darrell certainly filled them, and he's done a great job, and you just roll your sleeves up and go to work. Now, the good thing is you got something to build off of, and that's the positive.
And what do they say? Tradition never graduates, right?
You got
it. It certainly doesn't here at Lakeview, and Mullins may have jumped offside. Now they're going to say that the offensive line moved first.
That's right.
It looked like
that was Jyrell P. And Jyrell moved.
Yeah,
he pre-moved, and then he jumped off sides. But Mark will tell you that Jyrell is his better lineman.
A late flag on the sideline. I think we're going to have a warning on Mullins this time because I don't think the Mullins coaches appreciated that. They thought that Lakeview actually drew their defender offside.
Well, you can draw him off sides. I mean, there's nothing against your snap
Once you're
count
set.
and whatever. You can't move to draw him off sides,
Okay.
but certainly you can do that with your language.
Well, it was
and it looks like they're going to penalize him on this one.
They're penalizing Mullins twice now because it was an offside, and now
it was.
I don't know what that signal is. The arm behind the back. Do you know that, Coach?
It was the coach said something stupid.
Oh, okay. The coach was penalized.
One of them.
Gotcha.
That's most likely what happened.
So another 5-yard penalty makes it first down and 10 inside the 25 for Lakeview, and they got a big hole on the left side. That's going to be about a 7-yard gain inside the Robinson Community College red zone.
And that looked like Andre Littlejohn that took him down then. And it was a good run, but it didn't pick up but about 8. It looked like more than that. Picked up about 7.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be just a hair short of the first down, but that was a huge hole. So Jameer Atkinson steps into the ball game for Lakeview, and now they're deep into Mullins territory.
And I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Price down here with the Q counter and maybe with some Q power.
This is their most sustained drive of the night. They scored on the 51-yard interception return. They give it off up the middle again. Good tackle by Mullins, but I think it's going to be enough for a first down inside the 15.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I'm not sure he got there. He looks like he's going to come up about 1.5 yards short, which is going to give him 3rd and short. And Mullins has really done a good job in the box tonight.
You're right. 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. So a 1-yard gain on the play. And the Auctioneers trying to hold.
And that tackle then was Chandler Green, by the way.
And, I'm so far to the left, I can't see the field from here, so I'm having to watch it on the monitor.
As you can imagine, we packed in like sardines.
I love this little press box, though. It's cozy, and the people treat us so nice.
It's a great atmosphere.
I love
this
is a great
atmosphere.
football town. Great football town. All right, Price takes the direct snap, and you're right, Q counter, but boy, they read that one well, didn't they, Coach?
Yeah, and one of the problems with the counter is that you're pulling people, and if people are stunning, they can disrupt that. And because you depend so much on your backside blocking, and they didn't get it then. And that tackle then was Andre Littlejohn, and we've called his name 2 or 3 times now.
5:45 to play in the first half. We've got timeout on the field. We're tied at 8 on the Conway Medical Center Friday Night Rivals. Back in a moment.
Recycle right, South Carolina. Shredded paper can become litter if it's not properly recycled. In Horry County, shredded paper must be placed in clear plastic bags, securely tied and recycled with other recyclables. Taking these steps ensures your shredded paper isn't wasted. Visit www.solidwasteauthority.org or www.recyclerightsc.org for more info on how to recycle right, South Carolina.
At HTC, we're here to keep you connected, here to help you work and play better from home. And most importantly, here with HTC Smart Wi-Fi, providing a safe, secure, and reliable fiber optic connection. We're HTC, and we're here for you, so you can be there for all of life's best moments. Stay better connected. Build closer connections. Connect with HTC Internet. HTC, here to connect.
Back at Jewel McLaurin Stadium in Lakeview, look at this. Second quarter score, Coach. Carolina Forest is leading Hartsville 35-14. There must be some fireworks going on over there.
Well, there must be, and typically Carolina Forest is not a real explosive team. They're more grinded out type of team, and you never know.
If you remember, they tied last year.
They tied and called a game because it was going to go. They had a delay that was going to send them to about 1 o'clock.
That was ridiculous. But Coach Morris said, no, we'll take the 10-10 tie. And because non-region games don't matter anymore. Wide open receiver in the end zone. Touchdown for Seth Deese.
Yeah, and that was basically Terrence Alford then. And they basically ran a wheel route. They ran a post from the outside receiver around and out and up inside. And you can see it right here. The safety jumped it. He jumped the out cut and both deep defenders were on that side of the hash, and it gave
Alford, you're right,
time to sit there. And, you know, what I was impressed with then by Chase Price, he threw a ball that was so easy to catch then. It was wide open. If you try to stick that in there, that receiver may or may not come up with it. But he threw a very catchable ball.
Very catchable. And that was Terrence Alford, as you said, Coach, number 5 instead of number 6, Seth Deese. Misidentified the numbers, but Lakeview, as per usual, will go for 2 to try to extend their lead back to 8. Up by 6 now, and this pass is batted down.
And, Alan, that was a 6-play, 70-yard drive and took 4:55 off the clock. That was by far the most impressive drive of the game so far.
Absolutely. Resulted in a Hope Health touchdown. Hope Health, your health begins here in Lakeview, South Carolina. So a 6-point lead.
Yeah, and, you know, in different times of the games, there are times when you really need to do something, and I think that was the time that Lakeview had to establish themselves offensively, and they did.
Darlington is leading North Myrtle Beach 7-0 early in that one. Carvers Bay on top of Kingstree early in the second quarter, 8-0. Dillon just down the road, about 13 miles, leading Socastee 7-0.
Yeah, and I think, didn't Socastee beat Dillon in Socastee last year, or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. And Conway is trailing Loris 7-0 in the first quarter. No score between Lake City and Timberland, and I think that's it. Georgetown Andrews, no score there. Lamar Green C, no score either. So here's a big return by Mullins. He avoided one tackle, but gets felled at around the 24-yard line.
Yeah, and that was Gabriel Lee that brought him down, and that's Gabriel's second tackle, and he's a freshman this year. So I think Lakeview fans got a lot to expect out of this young man.
Big game at West Florence tonight. Myrtle Beach and West are scoreless in the first quarter, and St. James is leading Aner 6-0. But that 35-14 score at Carolina Forest is scary.
Yeah, and it could be wrong.
It could be, because it's only the second quarter, and Carolina Forest usually doesn't score that prolific. But Mark Morris's team very good this year, no question, and we've got a official timeout. No, it's a Mullins timeout on the field, 14-8, Lakeview leading it. And I got a little story for you, Coach. I said if we had time, I was going to do this because, you know, I've known Jackie Hayes for 30 years. You've probably known him longer than that.
Unfortunately.
Well, Jackie, of course, was the athletic director here in Dillon County for many, many years, both over Lakeview and Dillon High School when he was the Dillon coach, and his son is now the county athletic director. But you'll love this. When Jackie, he is still the state House representative for Dillon County. And back when they were 4A, and he was kind of in the, where they were redirecting the regions.
Yeah.
Well, he gerrymandered it to go right by Marion and Mullins to play Myrtle Beach and St. James when they were 3A and all that. And I said it on my radio show on ESPN Radio 96.3, which I've been doing for 23 years. And I came to visit Jackie, and I love him to death. But he goes, you know, some good old boys want to come get you. And he told him, he said, don't leave that bad boy, leave him alone. So, and a takedown in the backfield.
And Lord, Mullins just ran a zone read there, and they were all over it. They slanted. And, again, they're going to try to pressure the box with at least 2 linebackers every snap.
Finishing that story, by the way, Coach, you know that you and I both would have gerrymandered that for us if we could have done it.
Given the opportunity, absolutely.
Doggone right we would have. We got a second down and long for Mullins, and it's Naz Bethea again. Bethea, big hole right up the middle. is going to make it 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, he was in a bad spot before, but there again, he's the guy that's got to make plays for him, and he's going to touch it every time, which is a good thing.
Yeah, Naz is an athlete, boy. His name is Kanazian Bethay, but they call him Naz.
And
glad they do.
I'm glad they do, too.
I'm glad they do. Oh, what a play. Naz hits his man wide open in stride across the 50-yard line to the 47. 1st and 10 for the Auctioneers.
And if we can see that one more time, I want you to watch him get hit here. And this is when you know, well, we didn't get to see it, but he got drilled then.
Oh, he did.
And to see a guy stand in there and make that kind of throw knowing he's going to get hit, those are the kind of guys that you can put your money on.
Big kid, and he never flinched.
Never.
He took the hit like a man.
I wouldn't say he's big. He's tall.
He's tall. Yeah, he's only 175 pounds,
Yeah.
but he is tall, and he took that hit right. And now he's going to go down in a heap in the backfield as 3 blue shirts get there, arriving at the quarterback.
And the thing that's difficult about defending Naz is you can't get one guy on him in a rush because he's always going to be able to evade that. But if you'll notice here, he evaded the first rusher, but the second one, who was Seth Dees, came in and make the play on him. So the important thing is that you got to have him bracketed every time.
Balin Rice also was there on the tackle, loses about 12 on the play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 22.
Now, Coach Lowry made it a point to say that Naz does call the schemes up front too.
So he got a man open across the middle and just a hair too tall. He had him, and the receiver knew it too. He should have had that ball.
And what makes it so difficult in the secondary is that once that guy breaks the containment and gets outside and has the ability to throw it down the field, it's hard to cover people that long.
It hit Reeves right in the hands, but it was a little bit.
It was a little high.
It was a little high, but Reeves knows he should have caught that one. Brings up 3rd and very long for the Mullins Auctioneers, and we got a timeout on the field with 3:07 to play in the first half.
Well, you know, though, Alan, they have been pretty good on long yardage situations
They
thus
have.
far.
Yeah.
I mean, they just and I don't know if Lakeview's kind of eased up on the pressure and more play defense, but I think you got to pressure him and you got to bracket him.
Coach, we had some college football for the first time last night. Actually, we had some over the last weekend, week 0, but last night, like I've said earlier, my Wolfpack held on by their chin by a score of 24-17. But top 25 ranked Boise State was stomped last night by South Florida, where you had one at South Florence and South Florida, didn't you?
Yes.
Son?
Yes.
Okay, so South Florida beat Boise State 34-7, and Duke ran all over Elon last night, as NC State should have done.
Was that South Florida or was that Central Florida?
South Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, over Boise. Yeah.
Yeah, because I did Central Florida play last night?
I think they played last week. They may have played last night too.
One of their scores as well.
I'll look after this play.
I don't keep up with South Florida anymore because they fired all of them.
Oh, yeah. That's a toughie. Now, again, both teams have had wide receivers just running free all night long.
That was a back out. He ran a wheel out of the backfield, and if you watch right here, watch the receipt. See him running a wheel out of the backfield.
Anthony Campbell.
And that is a tough thing to cover defensively because you've already backed your coverage off to cover the receivers that are there.
It was 3rd and 22. He picked up about 17, so it's going to be 4th down, and they're going to go for it in Lakeview territory.
Yeah, I think you got to go for this.
I don't even see the down marker on the far sideline.
I'd roll that quarterback out to the right.
And the quarterback's going to keep it himself. Naz Bethay. He breaks one tackle, two, and he is short.
Him short.
And it's tackled by Uri Richardson to get the stop.
And that's what you got to do defensively. You got to do what you do well. And they put pressure on him, made him try to escape, and then did a great job bringing him down.
And our stat Stat guy said Jalen Clark was in on that, too.
Yes.
So Yuri Richardson and Jalen Clark on the stop for Lakeview. Turns it over on downs right at the 40-yard line. And you were right, Coach. UCF did play last night. Beat Jacksonville State 17-16. And isn't Rich Rod at Jacksonville State now?
Rich Rod is there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And you would know that being you a West Virginia man.
Yes. And silly enough, the West Virginia fans want him back. Here's a 1st and 10 for Lakeview. Twin receivers to the top, one to the near side left. And it's a straight drop, going deep. Good coverage by Mullins, though. And the Lakeview receiver wants a penalty.
He wants a penalty, and
not going to get that.
He's not going to get it, but he had it.
Emil
he kind of went by that defensive back, and he got a little shove.
Did he grab
grabbed
him?
On him and slowed him down a little bit. I don't blame you, son. I'd done the same thing.
Yeah, he wanted the officials to call the interference.
Yeah. And I'm not sure he would have gotten to the ball, but it was a little bit of a tug on his jersey.
But Price, and I tell you what, both quarterbacks have been throwing the football well tonight.
Yeah, I think they both have been very accurate.
Twin receivers again to the right, man in the slot that way. Single receiver to the near side. And they're going to go up the middle. Jalen Clark.
And that was Antoine Crawford on the tackle then. And Mark will tell you that Crawford is a guy that he really depends on defense.
And that was Landon King, who actually was on the carry. Crawford is not – he started the game but hasn't carried it but once or twice throughout. They've spread it around to both Lance Jackson, Landon King, Terrence Alford. Jameer Atkinson have all carried the football tonight. In the backfield is still Landon King to the right of Chase Price. He'll bring the slot receiver Tyree Ford to the left side. He's got two to the top, one to the bottom. Quarterback, Q counter, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's it, 1 yard gain.
And I tell you, Alan, there's not a lot of running room in there. I mean, really between the tackles, Mullins has played extremely well on defense. I think that, both quarterbacks, in my opinion, have located the ball well tonight.
Antoine Crawford on the tackle. So it's going to be 4th down, and we'll call it a long 9 just outside the 40-yard line. And other games tonight, got a few going on as we speak. We'll take a look at those, but I want to make sure that Carolina Forest Hartsville score is correct.
Yeah, that does sound a little bit odd.
That was very strange, to be honest with you. 35-14 in the second quarter.
It wouldn't surprise me that someone in those communities would embellish the score.
Myrtle Beach has jumped on top of West Florence now, 14-0 late in the first quarter. Aner is taking the lead over St. James, 11-6. And it's 35-23 is the score that we have on Score Stream for Carolina Forest over Hartsville right now. Darlington still leading by a touchdown over North Myrtle Beach. Waccamaw the same over Hannah-Pamplico. Lake City down to Timberland 6-0. Dillon now by 3 scores over Socastee. Carvers Bay by 1 over Kingstree. And we have Auburn Baylor playing tonight. Georgia Tech Colorado playing tonight. And they're both in the first quarter. Conway down to Loris 7-0. We've got punt formation for Lakeview now. The low snap. They almost got to it. Lakeview.
That was a risky catch then. Anytime you try to field a punt off of the bounce, you roll in the dice, baby. But that tackle was made by Bryce King and Landon King, so that was the King brothers.
Yeah, and Antoine Crawford came within a gnat's eyelash of getting that punt. So they almost knocked that one down. All right, tomorrow we've got Marshall, my Thundering Herd, taking on Georgia. And Marshall's new coach, Tony Gibson from NC State, is now the head coach at Marshall.
Well, he should know better now.
Utah, UCLA, California, Oregon State. That's still in California in the ACC. Syracuse, Tennessee is a good one. Alabama, Florida State. I think that's going to be a better game than people give credit for. Here's a drop back. Now Naz Bethea fakes the pass, keeps it himself, picks up some good yardage, about 6 yards.
And what Lakeview is doing now, which is very smart on Coach King's part, they're putting a limited rush, but they've got their inside linebacker spying the quarterback. And they're not attacking, but they're sitting there and they're playing the quarterback because that's where they're going to get hurt. Probably won't, their job on a pass in the passing game is the crossers. But in this case, they better worry about the quarterback.
Only 1 or 2 more plays left in the first half. We've got a penalty flag down.
That's got to be holding.
Is going to be – he's going to pick up enough yards for the first down, but I think it's going to come back.
Yeah, I think it is. That's got to be holding back there because that's one of the problems with a scrambling quarterback is the linemen are engaged in a block, and then the defender will try to get away in an awkward way, and what do when that happens? They grab. And I think that's probably what happened to them then.
That's exactly what happened. The penalty flag on Mullins will back them up, so negate the first down, and they'll have one more shot at it. See if they take one deep, but it gets it all the way back inside the 25-yard line, make it the 30. So,
yeah, and Lakeview's been putting a lot of pressure on the line of scrimmage, which they haven't during this last series just because of the time factor on the clock.
2nd and 15 from the 29-yard line. And they're going to let the clock run out. So they started the clock before the snap. So Mullins says, we'll take a 6-point deficit into the half.
And I think that's a good call because, honestly, you got to have a miracle to get it in right here and go in the house. You're still in this ball game.
Absolutely.
Now, Lakeview is going to get the ball in the second half.
So Lakeview leads it 14-8. And coming up is your A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report when we return to Jewel McLaurin Stadium in Lakeview, South Carolina. It's the Conway Medical Center Friday Night Rivals on CW21.
Hurricane season is here and we're ready to help keep your power on. Don't be left in the dark. Prevent power outages in all kinds of weather with a Briggs & Stratton backup generator. We'll help determine the correct size for your home to keep all of your electrical devices running. So keep your family safe and comfortable with a Briggs & Stratton backup generator today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Friday nights are made for moments like these. Every parent's dream is to see their child play under the lights. But one reckless choice can take it all away. Always stop when the stop arm is out. Don't be the reason they miss their moment. Stop means stop.
Car accident? Just call Joy. You might think it's best to wait and see before calling a lawyer, but don't do it. Wait and see can turn into wait and lose. Once the insurance company thinks you're desperate for money, they may offer you less than you really deserve. A lot less. At the Joy Law Firm, we don't believe in wait and see. We believe in fight and win. When it matters most, just call Joy. 215-3100.
Robison Community College, your source for higher education and short-term training needs. Offering accounting, basic law enforcement training, cosmetology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, electrical systems, EMS, HVAC, mechatronics, medical office administration, respiratory therapy, radiography, university transfer, artificial intelligence, welding, and more. Online and face-to-face instruction available. Learn more at robison.edu.
Aprende inglés gratis en RCC.
ABC 15 is your weather authority. This is the A&I Fire and Water Restoration Halftime Report.
A&I Fire and Water Restoration Halftime Report. A&I Fire and Water Restoration, making your house home again after disaster strikes. It's 14-8 in favor of the home team. as they scored on a 51-yard touchdown return of an interception and then had a sustained drive near the end of the first half to take that 6-point lead. The 2-point conversion was back down. Mullins is moving the football tremendously. Hey, stay close. Stick around after the game for the Search for the Truth, the Amanda Knox story, followed by ABC 15 News at 11. And then, of course, each week we feature 2 scholar athletes, one from each school. At the end of the season, Benjamin Franklin, the punctual plumber, will give a scholar athlete a $5,000 scholarship. And here are this week's nominees after we tell you about Brandon Dunn, and the End Zone is coming your way at promptly at 11:20 this evening. So make sure you stick around for that. But we're going to take time out, I believe, here. Nope, scholar athletes now. Okay, thank you. My director in my ear. The scholar athlete of the week, the Benjamin Franklin Plumbing scholar athlete of the week, is our quarterback, Chase Price. And, of course, the Lakeview, he was the starting center last year on the football team. Now he's the starting quarterback and has a 4.433 GPA. And what a season he is having. He also plays baseball. This Lakeview baseball team are just as good as the football team. They win state championships year in and year out. And, of course, Chase Price is your scholar athlete of the week from Lakeview, from Mullins. Or is it also from Lakeview? No, it is Mullins. Okay, I was going to say, I saw the jersey.
Saw the blue.
Yeah, I told you, it's messing me up. Justin Reeves, 4.139 GPA on the football team. He also plays basketball and is a leader in his church community as well for the Mullins Auctioneers. So halftime, 14-8 is your score as the Lakeview Wild Gators lead it by a touchdown as you watch the A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report from Lakeview, South Carolina.
DIY? How about DDIY? Don't do it yourself. Leave it to the professionals. Benjamin Franklin is your plumbing expert. We can take the hassle out of your home's plumbing. We can handle whole house repipes, unclogging your drains, installing water heaters, and help with any natural gas or inspections. And we're always there for you 24 hours a day. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Morning, Carl. Usual?
Yeah.
Your oldest was in here the other day. Said the two of you took a trip down to my neck of the woods. How'd that go?
You might as well give me one of those Carolina cars while you're at it.
I knew I liked that one.
Yeah.
There you go, my friend.
Thanks.
Hey, Carl. Congratulations.
See you tomorrow, Freddie.
You bet.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move, in the moments you choose motion over stillness, in every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your healthcare is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
This is the A&I Fire and Water Restoration Halftime Report.
Right here with Tony Zach from Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. You guys coming back for your 6th year with Friday Night Rivals. How do you feel week 0, but high school football is back? How excited is that?
Oh, yeah. Look, and how about the weather during this time of year? This has been a great August so far. So Really looking forward to the fall football weather here. Glad to be a part of it, especially with the scholarship at Ben Franklin Plumbing. We've been doing it for 6 years, and it's just neat to make a difference in young student athletes' lives.
Hey, you guys, that's not something you have to do. Why is it something that you want to do, though?
It's just important to give back to the community. I mean, that's how, you know, all of our employees that live here, we're all part of this community, and it's great to give back any way we can. And this is just one of the ways that we can really highlight somebody as well by partnering with WPDE and just having a good time handling, you know, hanging out with the student athletes.
Thank you, Connor and Tony Zach. Been with us all the years we've been doing this. Great folks at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing and Mr. Sparky. But tune in tonight at 11:20 when our buddy Brendan Dunn is back, covering all the high school games in the area. Of course, tonight, ABC 15, catch the highlights from the End Zone with Sports Director Brendan Dunn as it starts at 11:20 precisely on ABC 15 News after you get 20 minutes of good news, and then you'll have the good news of high school football with Brandon Dunn. It's the A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report. Lakeview leads it by a score of 14-8 over Mullins, and we'll have more coming up on the CMC Friday Night Rivals on the CW21.
This is the A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report.
Sometimes unwanted guests show up unannounced and they refuse to leave. They make themselves at home, making life uncomfortable. But that's when you call A&I to show that unwanted guest the door and keep them from coming back. You can rely on A&I to kick mold out for good.
What do you mean you didn't win the lottery? You don't have to win the lottery to buy a new Hyundai. Hello everybody, I'm Cecil Chandler. Check out some of the deals we've got here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. 0% interest for 60 months on the 2025 Palisade with leases starting at $389. And the 2025 Santa Fe also has 0% interest rates for 60 months with leases starting at $329. And remember, no payments for 90 days. The 2026 Palisades are rolling in daily. Come see us here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. You either earn your stripes or you see your number slashed off the list. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your healthcare is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
Is the A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report.
All right, here with Tony Zach from Mr. Sparky and Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. You guys are teaming up for your 6th year of the Friday Night Rivals. Why is this something you guys like to do?
Oh, it's high school football season, and we really enjoy being able to help provide that for the community on Friday nights, Thursday nights, whatever day they're playing. We're excited about it. It's just that time of year, and there's a lot of community involvement with it, and we want the community to know we're here to serve them.
And talking about your community involvement, you guys also have a scholarship program, correct?
Yeah, we do, and you know, that's been a real exciting thing, especially when you start looking at the money over the last 5 years. Now this is year 6. Just being able to make a difference in, you know, in student athletes' life like that. And I mean, the quality of what we're putting out in high schools is just phenomenal when we look at all those student athletes coming through. So
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Sweet wine pump fakes, goes end zone wide open, and one-handed catch. Are you kidding me?
Well, I'll tell you that you're going to watch the defender falls down, and Sheffield still has to make a spectacular grab.
Allen rolling, has time if he wants to run. Rolling has a guy over the middle. It's intercepted right into the hands of Logan Steele, and he's gone. No one will catch the long jump gold medalist and the second in the 100, Logan Steele.
Oh, new running back in the ball game, he got tattooed and suplex. Speaking of wrestling, that was bad enough right there. Then, bam.
Big number 90, Maurice Horry right there. He got his money.
Wolf fires downfield. He has a man, but lobs it up. It's a 50-50 ball, and it's picked off by Manheim Township. Coming up and making the interception is Dixon. It was a 50-50 ball, and Dixon comes up and has the INT. Dixon, the 5.
Does it get off? Ready, go. Off the line of scrimmage. Look at the speed, the quickness. Good recovery there. Gets it back over to the sideline. Execution for Champ.
Who doesn't love the tea-grabbing dogs? That's awesome. Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals. And tomorrow, a huge day of football. I thought we had 4 games right here on ABC 15. 4 of the biggest games of the day. Starting at noon with Syracuse versus number 24 Tennessee, followed by Alabama and Florida State. Don't sleep on the Seminoles, even though they only won 2 games. And then the one that we really want to see, LSU and Clemson, top 10 matchup from Death Valley, and we'll close it out with another top 10 squaring off Notre Dame and Miami from Coral Gables at 7:30 tomorrow night. What a great day of football right here on ABC 15 and the CW. We'll have some ACC football for you as well. Here it's 14-8, Lakeview in front on the Conway Medical Center Friday night rivals on the CW 21.
This is the A&I Fire and Water Restoration Halftime Report.
Robison Community College, your source for higher education and short-term training needs. Offering accounting, basic law enforcement training, cosmetology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, electrical systems, EMS, HVAC, mechatronics, medical office administration, respiratory therapy, radiography, university transfer, artificial intelligence, welding, and more. Online and face-to-face instruction available. Learn more at robison.edu.
Aprende inglés gratis en RCC.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move. In the moments you choose motion over stillness. In every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Life can get a little hectic, and sometimes things slip through the cracks. But when life overflows, A&I is ready to step in. Our team acts fast to restore your home and bring peace back to your life. You can rely on A&I when life overflows.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cecil Chandler. What do you look for when you're buying a new car? A great warranty, a great price, and great safety features? Myrtle Beach Hyundai has all of that. The Kona has 2.99% interest rate for 48 months with leases starting at $249. The Tucson has 3.99% interest rate for 72 months with leases starting at $229. And remember, no payments for 90 days. Come see us at Myrtle Beach Hyundai, South Carolina's #1 Hyundai dealership.
You're watching your CW21. This is the A&I Fire and Water Restoration Halftime Report.
Back at halftime at Jewel McLaurin Stadium in Lakeview, the Wild Gators lead it by a score of 14-8. Both teams scored in the first quarter, and then it was pretty much Lakeview controlling the offense throughout the second quarter, a 6-point lead into halftime. The A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report as A&I Fire and Water Restoration making your house home again after disaster strikes. Well, there wasn't a whole lot of headlines in the first half, Coach, but what we have, let's see if the crew brings it together, because the offense was few and far between for both teams.
Yeah, and yet I've seen, after talking with the coaches in detail before this game game is pretty much played out how they expected. What we have on Lakeview's side is 12 rushing yards, period.
12.
Now, and I say that because Mark Lowry told me their goal was to stop their run and make them put the ball in the air.
Well, obviously
and they've done that, and yet they've got 69 yards passing for a total of 81 yards, but they've been 4 for 5 passing the football. And you can see on some of the highlights here, we may have a few of those passes. I don't know.
Yeah, both,
you can see right
both
here,
quarterbacks were good.
And this was just a tackle. And basically, they just put a lot of pressure on the quarterback and put him in a situation. He is so good about seeing down the field. This was an early interception. It was one of the scores that Lakeview had, and he did a great job. And he'll remember this a long time, I promise you.
He stepped right in front, but it was mostly a defensive game, and this was the biggest play in the first quarter for Mullins, but,
he put the ball out of the ground. And you know, what you never understand is how important plays like that are sometimes. Of course, here he scrambles, gets the ball out. You're going to see again, he's got a lot of pressure. This is one of the few times that they were able to get to Naz, and what does he do? He drops the ball off for a touchdown, and that's what makes it so difficult to defend a guy that can improvise like that.
I mean, on a play like that, Coach, you got to play to the echo of the whistle, right?
And then you see the throw that Price made, which he had great touch on that ball. And then we can see here again, Naz comes out, and he hits a guy on a vertical pass. They're in pretty good shape. I think Naz here throws to the back out of the backfield. He runs a wheel route down the sideline, and it was the back. And that is hard to cover defensively because you're covering the front wave of the pattern, and you don't see that second wave.
And time just ran out on Mullins at the end of the first half because they were moving the football.
Yeah, they were, and I've been impressed with both teams. I tell you, this Mullins team, there's no comparison with this team and the team I saw in Mullins 2 years ago.
I agree.
You got to give a lot of credit to Mark Lowry and what he's accomplished there. He has worked extremely hard, and I can see it in the way his kids play.
Yeah, Lowry's record since he arrived at Mullins 3 years ago is 7-14, but they got, I think, six of those wins last year.
Last year, that's right.
So,
and you want to see that kind of progress, and yet your progress sometimes depended on your players and the quality of your players. But anytime you see somebody come in and kind of build like that, you got to feel good about it.
Yeah, Mark, and like I said, I spoke to him for about 30 minutes on Tuesday or Wednesday like you did, and just a super guy. I mean, he loves being a head coach at Mullins. And
he loves those kids, and that's what I appreciate.
That's it, absolutely. And, again, when you got Darrell King, who's been around for 18 years following a legend like Jewel McLaurin, and who also followed another legend in Bill Pate. Because I was thinking it was Johnny Roscoe, but you said no, Bill Pate.
Yeah, I wouldn't cuss Lakeview like that.
Johnny Roscoe was a great coach.
Johnny was at Hartsville when I first came to Conway.
Well, here's the second half kickoff. It's very short. Lakeview, with a 6-point lead, is going to have to scramble their way out to the 35-yard line to start the second half.
Yeah, and I lost my spotter. I think I think he must be courting his girlfriend down there.
I was going to say, did you give him some pizza and he wandered away?
I slipped him 50 cents, and he might have spent it on his girlfriend.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Wild Gators at the 35-yard line. Chase Price comes back out.
Something I always enjoy doing is seeing a team come back out in the second half and see what kind of changes they've tried to make, particularly offensively. defensively, I think you're going to see the same thing on both sides of the ball because both defenses have been pretty stout. But offensively, there's a chance we're going to see a wrinkle or two.
I'm still just dumbfounded that Lakeview only had 12 rushing yards in the first half.
Well, there's a reason Coach went to spread.
And he's got the spread right now, 4 wide receivers. He's got the jet sweep, but he hands off on the counter up the middle, and he's got a big hole at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. He changes directions, and he's going to take it into the house on the first play from scrimmage, 65 yards for the touchdown.
Yes, and that was just what the doctor ordered. And, he basically ran a counter then. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see this again, but he basically ran a counter, and Mullins has done such a great job up front in the box. But, boy, he had a gap. He had a seam in and took it. That was a 65-yard touchdown run. The total play took 12 seconds.
And that was a Hope Health touchdown, and they quadrupled their rushing yardage on one play.
Yeah, we were talking about the fact they had 12 yards rushing. Now it's 67.
So, and you got your spotter back, Coach.
Yeah, my spotter. Did you get some smacky lip from your girlfriend?
Did you see your girlfriend? Okay.
Oh, he didn't. He didn't. Okay.
I don't know about that. He might be pulling our leg, Coach. So, they're going to go for 2, as they have, and they will all year long. They don't have a kicker, so they just go for it every time. Chase Price moving people around, and he's got a single setback. He jump passes across the middle. It's intercepted, and that's it. Play's over.
It's killed now, and you used to could run that thing back and get a point, but you can't anymore.
Yeah, I thought you could get 2 for it.
That was only one. No, you get 2, but that was only if you were playing in Dillon.
Gotcha. If you were playing in Dillon. You got there's your A&I instant replay, Coach, and that is some nifty footwork by Chandler, or make that Jalen Clark.
And, I wanted to say when I saw it, you see number 10 there from the Auctioneers. He did a great job of keeping on that play until the end. He even tried to knock it down around the 1, and I just appreciate a kid that gives that kind of effort all the time, no matter what the circumstances are.
Second Mr. Sparky kickoff of the second half, 20 seconds in to the second half. So here is your approach, and the kick is away by Lance Jackson, and the football is free. Somebody better pick it up. Mullins does snag it and get a nice block out front, but Lakeview fells the return man at around the 32 or 33-yard line.
Alan, I've noticed that Mullins is very tentative on their kickoffs, on their returns at least. They're not quite sure of themselves. And Coach Lowry told me before the game that he hated special teams, so maybe that explains it.
Well, they are very unsure of themselves on those returns, but Naz Bethea is not unsure of himself at quarterback. He has been terrific.
Well, and I think that really Mullins is going to need to show some kind of response here to stay in this game.
And the football is free. It's on the field. Naz picks it up, still looking downfield, and does get rid of the football.
That was a great job by Naz in there. It caused him to have to retreat all the way to the 2-yard line, but he did a great job getting that ball out then.
Yep. Yeah, that was the only thing he could do, and they're not talking about giving an intentional grounding penalty here, are they?
Absolutely, they couldn't because he had a receiver coming back toward the ball.
And he was outside the pocket. Yeah, they're waving the flag off. Yeah, that's it. That he did the exact right thing. He was in trouble, and he needed to get rid of it. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 as he tosses it out of bounds.
That would have been worth the penalty.
Oh, I would agree. I would agree.
To where he was going to be sacked.
Single setback. Snap is low. He looks and gets rid of it to the release man. That's DeQuarius Smith, but a nice tackle in the open field.
Yeah, and that was Seth Dees in, and he did a great job on that. But I thought that Naz did a good job getting that ball out.
He certainly did, just getting rid of it. Naz, I tell you, you got to give the kid a lot of credit for just keeping his mind on the play.
Yeah, and he obviously stronger than he looks.
Mm-hmm. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. It's going to be 3rd down and more than 10 when we return on the first drive by Mullins, 20-8. Lakeview on top now on the CMC Friday Night Rivals.
What do you mean you didn't win the lottery? You don't have to win the lottery to buy a new Hyundai. Hello, everybody. I'm Cecil Chandler. Check out some of the deals we've got here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. 0% interest for 60 months on the 2025 Palisade with leases starting at $389. And the 2025 Santa Fe also has 0% interest rates for 60 months with leases starting at $329. And remember, no payments for 90 days. The 2026 Palisades are rolling in daily. Come see us here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. You either earn your stripes or you see your number slashed off the list. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Baby done another yard sale.
Yeah, me too. Back at Jewel McLaurin Stadium as the Lakeview Wild Gators score on the first play from scrimmage in the second half. But we want you to stay tuned during the fourth quarter of tonight's game. We'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game presented by NHTSA. That's NHTSA. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Paid for by NHTSA. We had a good stop last week. I mean, they had a meeting at the quarterback. We'll see if we can do that one again this week.
Yeah, I think this game has been well played thus far, Alan. I've been impressed with both teams. I've been impressed with both coaching staffs.
Well played, well officiated.
Yeah, and they have. They've called the things that were obvious and otherwise let the game proceed.
And they've warned both sidelines. So
yeah, and they needed warning. I saw some of them getting on the verge.
All right, we have a score, an update at halftime. Carolina Forest leading Hartsville 35-26.
Hartsville's inching back in there.
Yeah, they were down 35-14.
What about the South Florence Somerville score?
All right, you know what? I did not. That one didn't show up on mine.
It was
you need to
7-0 South,
Miss
and I'm not sure.
Yeah,
my wife should be sending that to me.
So we'll look at that, but elsewhere
it's 7-7 at halftime.
7-7. All right, Darlington is leading North Myrtle Beach still 7-0 at half. Myrtle Beach holding a one-score lead over West Florence at halftime. Aner and St. James are knotted at 19 at the break. It's Waccamaw 20-0 over Hannah-Pamplico. Lake City leads Timberland now. That's a little bit of a surprising
I think
score.
Timberland has dropped a little bit. They were very good for a long time.
Absolutely. They were dominant in 2A for years. But Lake City right now 16-12 in front. And, Dillon is just blowing Socastee out of the water, 41-0 at the half.
Wow.
So I didn't know it would be that bad, but I expect Dillon to do very well. As Mullins play action, Naz Bethea goes deep. He's got a man wide open. He connects to him. If he doesn't fall down, he takes it all the way home.
Did you see the adjustment that he made on that football, though?
Yeah, it was a little behind him.
And that was Keith Bridget. He's 5'8", 125 sophomore, and if he'd have had more weight on him, he wouldn't have been able to make that adjustment.
Yeah, he did a nice job
And that's hard to do when a ball's up in the air, is to actually change 180 and make that play. I thought he did an excellent job.
Turned all the way around and put the brakes on at the same time.
Yeah, and it's so hard to play that deep coverage like that once that quarterback escapes like Naz did.
Another big gainer for Mullins, but it's going to back up 5 yards because somebody moved before the snap. against the Auctioneers. It's going to take it outside the 35.
And, you know, Mullins is pretty – they got pretty good size on the offensive front. And at the same time, the defensive line is pretty light, but they're quick. Woo. And you can see right there.
Lakeview.
Boy, he does a great job of getting the ball out. I just got to commend him on his field awareness.
That defensive lineman broke through free, and he wanted to gobble up.
He came
Bethea.
clean, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That was Tyree Ford who wanted
I don't know if we
more.
See that on film, but he came through pretty clean.
He wanted all of Naz Bethea.
And again, we were talking about some adjustments they may make. They may be dialing those linemen up because they're getting a lot more pressure on Naz than they were.
Heavy pressure, and it's 4 again. So they may be blitzing 4 off of that right side.
Well, and I don't know what they're doing differently. I'm going to try to study it a little bit as I watch it, but they have made some adjustments up front for sure.
Yeah, that's Naz is not having nearly as much time to look.
No, he's had to get the ball out immediately the last 2 times.
He's not been able to go through his progressions, and even though he had that big gainer on that first down play.
My guess is they're going to put him on the edge right here. They're not going to let him sit back in that pocket.
3rd and 15.
They're getting that pressure on it. They're going to move him.
And a timeout on the field. Mullins wants to talk about it. They will take one with them. It's a 20-8 lead now for the home team. 1A versus 3A on the Conway Medical Center. Friday Night Rivals on CW21.
Recycle Right, South Carolina. Did you finally get around to painting the kitchen? Great news! But remember, paint, household cleaners, automotive fluids, and similar items are classified as household hazardous waste and must be recycled properly. In Horry County, residents can bring these items to the Solid Waste Authority's Household Hazardous Waste Facility located in Conway. Visit www.solidwasteauthority.org or www.recyclerightsc.org. Recycle Right, South Carolina.
At HTC, we're here to keep you connected, here to help you work and play better from home. And most importantly, here with HTC Smart Wi-Fi, providing a safe, secure, and reliable fiber optic connection. We're HTC, and we're here for you, so you can be there for all of life's best moments. Stay better connected, build closer connections, connect with HTC Internet. HTC, here to connect.
McLaurin Stadium in Lakeview. It's a 20-8 home team lead for the Wild Gators against the Auctioneers of Mullins. And like I said, I came through Mullins this afternoon. Had to go over to Dillon before arriving here in Lakeview, but not too bad. Roads on the back roads here in Dillon
as long
County.
as you don't get behind a big truck, you're in pretty good shape.
I was behind a truck or two, but I was able to get around them, fortunately.
You know, I think this drive is real important, and if nothing else, they're going to be able to turn the ball over deep into the Lakeview side of the field.
Exactly. 3rd down, 15. Naz again gets rid of it in a hurry. It's completed, and that is Tyron Allen out of the backfield.
And that pursuit then was Uri Richardson. He did a great job of pursuing that because it looked like he was going to break. But Uri got in, locked him up.
All he got was the 5 yards. They lost on the sack. So it brings up 4th and 10, and it looks like Mullins is going to go for it, Coach. Down 2 scores.
Yeah, I think they're at a good place to go for it here because if you punt it down, there's likely they're going to get it at the 20 anyway. And they've been pretty good in long yardage situations so far this game. And I would think they would put him on the edge. But then they got rushers out there making sure he doesn't get there.
Allen lines up as the H-back, and we've got double coverage out there. Did he get
He's
his
out
foot
of bounds. We got a flag coming in. They're going to say pushed him. That's going to be interference right there.
I don't know, Coach. I think what you saw was a football being thrown out of – because I saw it too. It was a football being thrown by the kids out on the baseball field.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I saw something yellow coming this way.
That's what I thought. I saw it too, but it was a football being thrown on the baseball field over outside the fence. So it's he was out of bounds on the reception. The catch was made, but feet came down out of bounds. So that is over on downs. Gives it to Lakeview, 1st and 10.
But going back to that coaching decision, I think that's a good call by Mark. You run the risk of keeping the ball, and really you're only giving them 13 yards if you kick it in the end zone.
Right, and it's 1st and 10 at the 32 for Lakeview. So you're in kind of no man's land there.
And I think Lakeview could put the game in a tough place if they could put this one in the end zone.
Lance Jackson in the backfield with quarterback Chase Price. Price gets double-teamed in the backfield and is pushed down right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And that was Nathan Paraki, who Coach tells me he's one of his guys. He's one of his go-to guys.
Yeah, when I talked to him earlier in the week, he said he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy. You want them tough guys on defense.
You want them tough guys on your football
everywhere. Right? That's it. So Paraki, the tackles 5'9", 165-pound junior. You go twin receivers out to the right. That's David Hyatt and Jameer Atkinson. On the near side, it's Terrence Alford, but they hand off to Lance Jackson out of the backfield, and Lance is pulled down for a loss.
And that looks more like the defense that we saw in the first half. They're doing a real good job penetrating and not leaving a lot of gaps available. And yet you can accept that when you got the lead, particularly when you got a 2-score lead.
2-yard loss on the play makes it 3rd down and 10. After gaining 2 on 2nd down, they lost 2 on, or make that 1st down, lost 2 on 2nd down. So it's 3rd and 10. Price better hustle up because play clock's running down on them. Receivers wide to the near side. Uri Richardson is in the slot. David Hyatt is all the way near to the sideline. Also, Terrence Alford. He's looking this way. Lets it go deep. And if he didn't have to slow up for it, it would have been a touchdown.
No, it's not.
And I think we're going to see pass interference on this play, Coach, because he had to stop. I mean, I'm with you. I think you're right.
I played in the secondary, and that was good coverage.
I thought so, too.
Other than he got his butt beat, but he recovered well.
And the receiver had to stop.
Well, maybe we'll see it again on here, Kev.
Yeah, the receiver had to come back for the football. You can't expect the defender to slow down.
Well, I guess technically he needs to. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see it again. But
well, it's coming all the way back to the line of scrimmage. This may be a penalty against the offense. Yeah, they're backing him up.
No.
Or are they going to pick up the flag?
Yeah, they're marking it off back here.
Okay, so it's going back to the spot of the play.
Right.
And it's going to be 15 yards from there.
From the spot.
Yeah. Pass interference. Paul Gable, our statistician, was the one who called that out first. But
yeah, I had to wake Paul up, and he finally saw that one.
I beg to differ, but again, he did run into the receiver.
He did. I acknowledge that. I just didn't like it.
I didn't either. When the guy slows down, now we've got
one thing I
whistles.
want to bring out, Alan, and where we can see, look at Lakeview and their alignment right now on the offensive line. We got
an offside penalty against Mullins. They lined up in the neutral zone.
But I want you to look at the offensive line. I want you to look at the right guard and the right tackle. If they run the same play. No, they got closer to the line now. They were getting ready to run that Q counter last time.
Halfback is to the right. Fullback is to the right. Moves a man in motion. Hands off to the tailback. And the tailback is going to pick up close to the 1st down marker. Maybe enough to get it 6 yards, and his helmet comes off. So he's going to have to exit the ball game for a play. But he does pick up 6 and moves the chains.
Well, and again, Mark's goal was to stop the run, Coach Lowry, and he felt like he had to stop the run. And it looks like Lakeview is wearing on them just a little bit. They're getting a little more push inside than they have been getting. And they really don't seem to be getting as many run-throughs as they were in the first half.
We'll say thanks to Myrtle Beach Hyundai. Remember, no games, no gimmicks, just good deals at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. Not a lot of first downs in this one, but that is a Myrtle Beach Hyundai first down, and may have drawn Mullins offside, but no whistle. They call in the play.
I heard a whistle, but it may have come from the stands.
Yeah. They didn't stop the play, so it's 1st and 10 at the 43, and he snaps it over the quarterback's head. And this is going to be Mullins football, or is it? They pick it up. And all rumbling and bumbling all his way down to the 30, make it the 24-yard line, and I believe that was.
And we're going to see it again right here. You see, basically it looked like Price thought he was going to pick the ball up, but I don't think he realized there was 2 or 3 coming in there.
Yeah, Andre Littlejohn ultimately recovered the fumble for Mullins, but what are the officials meeting about now? They're near the 45-yard line, and they're going to have to go talk to the coach.
I try to support officials for the most part, Alan, but when they start grouping up, I don't trust their behind.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
When they start conferring.
But I don't like all that conference going on.
Conferring means bad stuff is about to happen. So they are talking to the head coach of Mullins, Mark Lowry, and I don't think Coach Lowry is going to like what he hears here.
Yeah, they don't normally go to you if they got good news.
Mullins, I think, is going to have the football, but it might not be all the way down at the 27-yard line.
Right.
Well,
good call, Alan. You got that one right. Wow. What are they doing?
Yeah, Mullins is keeping the defense on the field. Maybe one of our people in the booth here is saying inadvertent whistle may have stopped the play as the quarterback was fumbling the football. That is, boy, Mark Lowry is really going to be upset. I know I would be. If Mullins don't get the football, which it doesn't look like they're going to, and Mullins is reading the riot act to him. And there's more of that conference going on, Coach.
Yeah, ain't a lot of good come out of that.
Not a lot of good comes out of conferences like that. And neither team is leaving the field, the offense for Lakeview or the defense for Mullins. So,
well, I'm not sure what the call was. It's what's a little bit tough on this.
Yeah,
end.
that's we haven't received. Daryl King is standing on the field. They haven't come over and talked to him, so I don't know what he wants to be informed as to what's going on as well. And
well,
again,
when he sees Mark mad and pacing on the other side, it doesn't bother him quite as much.
Right. I think he feels a little more secure.
Yeah, and the White Hat's coming over to talk to Daryl now. And we'll see. Just watch Daryl's motions, and we'll see whether it's good or bad.
That is not good if you're a Mullins fan. All right, let's take time to check out our score stream.
It's not going to be as bad as you thought, Alan, because Daryl's not happy with it.
Yeah, Daryl's trying to tell them, wait a minute, did you throw a flag or did you not throw a flag? Did you blow the whistle or did you not blow the whistle? He's trying to figure that out and discussing with the referee. Darlington leading North Myrtle Beach. They say it's still at the half, 7-0. Myrtle Beach over West Florence, 21-14. Also at the half, Aner leading St. James, 27-19 at the half. Carolina Forest now 49-26. So they've scored 2 touchdowns. Hartsville had cut the lead by 12. Waccamaw leading Hannah Pamplico 20-0. This is still Darryl is not happy. So I don't think either coach likes it. Yeah, so Lakeview offense is coming off the field. Mullins is going to get the football. but they're not going to get it at the 27-yard line. It doesn't look like.
Is there any way we could see what happened in that last?
I don't know that the officials even know specifically what happened.
And I'll tell you, when you get a bunch of people together, whether it be coaches or officials or whatever, there's always going to be differences of opinion.
Now they are marching back towards the 27-yard line. This is my whole issue with officiating in particular, is why does it take this long to decide who has possession and where the possession is taking place? Here's A&I replay.
And this is what we see right here. Now, it looks like they've got the ball. Let's see who comes up with it. Obviously, they've got the football right here. It looks like they're going, and he's down with the football. That's at the 27-yard line, is it not?
Yes, but they're saying it's the 30. The nose of the football is on the 30. So it looked like the 27.
Now
they're backing it up.
They're going back, but they're marking it up.
My
and it's on,
God.
Yeah, and what they did. The penalty was after the first down was accomplished.
See,
That's
what
the
I
only
think.
way.
Okay, what I think is happening here, Coach, and I may be wrong, but what I think is happening is they determined that Mullins recovered the fumble when the guy was down and his knee was on the ground back at the 40-yard line. And when he rolled over, the ball came out again.
Right.
And Mullins picked it up and tried to run with it. And now.
Wow, you talking about missing a face mask.
This is a comedy of errors. This is. I don't think it's fair to either team. I'll be quite honest with you. Anthony Campbell is the ball carrier, and he gets back to the 40. And again, conferencing at the ball. Nothing good ever comes from this.
Well, let's see what we get right here. I think we had a personal foul face mask, and we did, and that was a good call because I'm telling you it was there.
Yeah.
And
it's
actually,
a 15-yarder.
The guy on the side judge made the call on that, which it wasn't his call, but it was so obvious that he made it. I think the back judge was behind the play and couldn't see it properly.
Officials not being able to decide within a reasonable amount of time what's going on is a problem. And that was an unreasonable amount of time to spot that football at the 40-yard line. But now, after the face mask penalty, they get it at the 25 and pick up 4 down to the 21. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was actually the first pitch on the option that we've seen Mullins run. They have run some option, but it's always been cut up, and they took the pitch away from him. They left it there. He made the pitch.
Well, now let me play devil's advocate here about the officials. They don't have the luxury of replay like we do. Here's a pass that's caught across the middle, and he breaks the tackle, and he's going to take it into the end zone.
And you're
what
right.
A catch.
You're exactly right. It's a whole lot easier up here than it is on the field. I promise you. I know that from a coach's perspective because I never admitted my mistakes on Friday night, but I admitted them on Saturday or Sunday when I saw the film.
When you got to watch the film. That's exactly right. And I've always said this, Coach. Coaching and broadcasting are the same. I promise you, you really don't know what's what until you watch the film.
You are correct.
Or listen back to the broadcast. You just really don't.
And I've addressed some people in a bad way before when they didn't deserve it.
So I know how that is. I can say I'll walk out of this stadium and say, man, I was good tonight. And then I'll go home and watch it on film, and not so much. Usually, I hope it's the other way around most of the time.
You know, we hadn't played much football on this end of the
No,
field.
we haven't.
Seems like most of us been on the other end.
5 minutes and 46 seconds left, and Mullins trying to cut this lead in half. It's Naz Bethea. Bethea is going to break a tackle and take it into the end zone on the right side.
That was all Naz in. That was a 2-play, 40-yard drive with a 25-yard touchdown pass, a 2-point conversion, and they're back in this football game.
Getting ready to say we got ourselves a ball game now, Coach.
Oh, ain't no question about it.
4-point game.
And, of course, the difference is here the 2-point conversions because, Mullins has been able to get their twos, and now we're talking about a 4-point game, which is less than a one-score game.
Mm-hmm. So the official says roll the clock. And now we've got a hold, so they take the 2 points off the board now.
Okay.
So instead of a 4-point lead, it's still a 6-point lead, and it's going to be a much longer 2-point conversion attempt.
See that flag.
I didn't
Did you
either.
See it?
I didn't see it either, Coach. I apologize. Okay. Our PA announcer says it was all the way on the near sideline, and we are blocked out. So it's a 2-point conversion from way back, and he's pressured hard, and it's going to be intercepted. So take the 2 points away. So instead of a 4-point game, it's a 6-point game.
And Naz
so it's still a one-score game, though.
Naz is down on the field, and I don't know if his pride's hurt or if he's hurt. But they can't afford to play without him.
No, he's got to be in the game. They do have a backup, Dayon Ford, who's also a senior, but Naz is their go-to guy, and I think he might have just had the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, it appears that because he's getting up. But sometimes once you throw an interception,
yeah,
you need some help up.
I always remember the Monday Night Football many years ago when Frank Gifford said, when you get the wind knocked out of you, you feel quite certain you're going to die.
Oh, I promise you. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's ever going to come back.
So now Mullins draws to within a score, but 5:46 to go in the third, and they're going to kick it off from the right hash. So maybe they'll.
And I tell you what they're going to do, because I saw Coach working on it. He wants him to put it high and on the left hash. Now, whether or not he hits his mark, I don't know. But remember, they picked up one earlier, didn't they?
Yeah, this is. I'm suspecting onside kick here, Coach.
No, I think there's too much time in the game. I think that would be a little bit premature.
Dakari Worley is the kicker.
Now, unless he's scared of the return, and if they've got a good return and he knows that, he may take that risk.
Well, Worley is waving to the sideline what to do here. He's a left-footed kicker, just like actually his right foot. He kicked it. He approached it from the right side with his right foot. That's rare. But he kicked it right down the middle of the field, and it's returned by Lakeview out to the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Wild Gators have the lead and the ball with 5:39 to play third quarter.
Well, and we're talking about a one-score lead here, and this needs to, they don't want to give Mullins the ball right back.
Mr. Sparky is America's on-time electrician. The Conway Medical Center, compassionate care you can count on. Fine sponsors. And we've had very few red zone opportunities tonight. Most of the scores have been from way downfield, but the red zone is presented by Robinson Community College. From the red zone to the real world, Robinson Community College gets you there. 1st and 10 out at the 38. Lakeview, 6-point lead. Play action pass across the middle. It's caught. On the field side left. Nice catch by Deese. Deese has been a terror on both sides of the ball.
We've called his name a good bit tonight. He's been extremely active.
So a 4-yard gain makes it 2nd and 6. With a good play action by Chase Price. You don't see Lakeview going for the home run ball as much as we did in the first half.
Yeah, and I think they do know they want to take some time off that clock, too, to give them less snaps, because Naz is such a threat every time he takes a snap.
Twin receivers to the top of your screen are back-to-back. And now Price is looking to the sideline. The twin receivers to the near sideline are also back-to-back. So we got 4 receivers split wide either way, and it's a Q counter. Quarterback right up the middle, and he pulls the pile for almost a first down.
Yeah, he powered his way through then, and basically he just gave an outside zone look and then went right up the gut with the football. It was more of a power than anything, and he was an offensive lineman last year, so he ought to be able to run in traffic.
Yeah, he pulled that pile, but they gave him a bad spot. It's going to be 3rd and 2 instead of 3rd and a half yard.
Yeah, they tightened it up a little bit just now. I think Darryl got in his ear.
So big possession down for Lakeview right here near midfield. Man in motion is Tyree 4. He stops and sets up his H-back on the right side. And again, they look to the sideline after scanning the defense. Twin receivers right. They hand off to Clark up the middle.
Did not get it.
And he did not get it. Nice job by Mullins.
And, I thought it would be interesting if he did not get this. Do you take that risk at the field like that? And that tackle then was made by Andre Littlejohn. We've called his name a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But the question now is, do you go for this? Do you punt it out? Now, this is where it's very valuable to have your quarterback being able to punt the football. They can line up. They got to play defense. They know they got to play it, which means if he can kick one down, he can put them on an extremely long field.
Chase Price is the punter. The place kicker is Tyrone Bethea or Lance Jackson, but Price is the punter, and he's lining up at quarterback, though. In the pistol, sends a man in motion. It's 4th down and 2. They give it to Clark, and Clark
he gets it.
Pushes the pile for the first down across the 50
Boy, that was
into
a
Mullins
big first
territory.
Down. That was a big one for him.
Yeah, Jalen Clark, the 5'5", 140-pound junior, pushed about, 400 pounds of humanity backwards.
And, Alan, we still got a lot of time in this ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a risky call, but a good call.
Yeah, I think both coaches going for it on 4th down at the right time. It just worked out in Darryl King's favor. Twins left and right. Single setback to the left of Price. And I hope they're doing some of this to run some clock rather than not knowing what play they're calling.
Yeah, and what they're doing, they're actually looking at the defense. They're trying to make a determination of where the pressure's coming from.
Yep.
Which you did then.
And that's a big fella. Chase Price, 6 foot, 200 pounds, and pulls the defenders for another first down.
I tell you, I saw that safety roll up there, and then he got kind of close and said, I don't know if I want to hit this cat full speed.
His eyes got real big, didn't it?
Yeah.
His eyes got real big when the quarterback came at him. So they moved the sticks inside the 40 to the 38. Sustained drive for Lakeview.
Yeah,
up by 6.
And it's been a good football game. It's been well played on both sides.
I've been impressed.
Well played and well coached.
For this early in the season, these two teams they've got big futures ahead. Man in motion. And
didn't fool anybody then, because I tell you what, Andre Littlejohn came up from the linebacker spot and hit him in the mouth then. And, what I'm seeing coverage-wise is they look like they're playing to the field. They're playing a good bit of man, and they're zoning backside.
Yeah, that was Amanic Johnson on that jet sweep, and he was taken down in the backfield 2 yards, so it's 2nd down and 12. And we're under a minute to play in the third quarter. Could be the final play. Wide receivers left and right. Twins make it trips to the left, one to the right. Ball on the right hash. Price directing traffic down to 20 seconds to play. Here comes a heavy rush, and he's going to go down. And he fumbles the football. It's out. This could be a huge play for Mullins. The beanbag is down.
He called it down. He called it down. I got to see it.
We got a Mullins player face down on the far side of the field. That looks like Antoine Crawford. And are they going to say the quarterback was down before the ball came out?
Let's see what happens here.
That is a fumble.
There's no question.
That is a fumble.
No question.
For the second time, Andre Littlejohn has picked up a fumble.
Run that again. I just want to make sure I'm not seeing something wrong.
9 seconds to play in the third quarter. I want to think that.
I mean, that. Yeah, and we're going to slow it down here. Ball's out right there. That is not a fumble. I mean, that is
a fumble. It was before his knee hit the ground, and the officials, if they give that ball back to Lakeview, I think Mark Lowry will have a conniption fit.
Well, I don't think Mark's seen it as clean as we have. He'll have a conniption on Sunday.
Well,
when he's going
to be upset at his team because they called offside on Mullins and are going to give the football back to Lakeview because of the penalty. Pre-snap.
Wow.
So Lakeview caught a huge break right there.
They absolutely did.
On 2nd down and 12, Lowry calls timeout, and he is beside him. He's walking the sideline with a purpose. On the far side, I mean, he's walking with purpose. He is not happy. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7 instead of possession for Mullins.
Well, that was really a game changer type play. Now the question is, whatever occurred before that, we can't speak about.
Right,
we didn't see that.
If they called offside, they called offside. I mean,
exactly.
If that's the right call.
That precluded the fumble, and the fumble. I thought that they said he didn't fumble. Obviously, he did.
Yeah.
But
Lowry.
What the call precluded that, and so I'm good with it.
Lowry is just, he's shaking his head. He's walking, just unbelievable. Hands on the hips like you.
But he's in the swamp.
Yep. That's right. When you're in the swamp, things could go bad, right?
When you're in the swamp, you're in the daggone swamp.
The Wild Gators lead and have 2nd down and 7. Here comes a heavy rush.
Slip screen.
They get it out of there.
Didn't quite get there. I'll tell you who made a great play then was Andre Littlejohn, because that ball was getting ready to hit behind that.
Littlejohn has been everywhere.
He really has. And the ball was hit behind. He had his blockers out front.
And we got a timeout on the field. It's going to the final 12 minutes. Lakeview on the drive, and they'll have it when we.
Hey, it's Tony Zach with Mr. Sparky reminding you it's hurricane season. Do you need help with your portable generator hookup? Mr. Sparky can make it easy by installing an interlock kit and a receptacle. This keeps our hard-working linemen safe when you're using your portable generator. Call the electrical professionals at Mr. Sparky. We'll be right over.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The field, the lights, the crowd. It's everything to them. But one missed stop can turn a celebration into silence. This isn't how any season is supposed to end. Always stop when the stop arm is out. 1 second can save a lifetime of pain.
After her accident, you know how much Teresa had to pay to talk to a lawyer at the Joy Law Firm? Nothing. It cost her nothing. How much do you think Carl had to pay before we won him $6 million? Nothing. Not 1 cent. Know why? Because our clients get our no-fee guarantee. That means all consultations are free, and you don't pay anything unless we get money for you. Guaranteed. Injured? Just call Joy. 843-215-3100.
Robison Community College, your source for higher education and short-term training needs. Offering accounting, basic law enforcement training, cosmetology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, electrical systems, EMS, HVAC, mechatronics, medical office administration, respiratory therapy, radiography, university transfer, artificial intelligence, welding, and more. Online and face-to-face instruction available. Learn more at robison.edu.
Aprende inglés gratis en RCC.
Along the Grand Strand, in the Pd, and along the Border Belt, you're watching your CW21. ABC 15 is your weather authority.
Back at Jewel McLaurin Stadium. He's a legend here in Lakeview. Won at least a couple of dozen state championships. Daryl King has won a few more since he took over 18 years ago, and got a couple of big college games tonight. Georgia Tech is leading Colorado in Coach Prime 10-7. And I think Baylor and Auburn. Yeah, Auburn's leading Baylor 17-10 in the second quarter on the college level.
You know, Alan, I think this drive is going to be the drive of the game. If Lakeview can take it down and get in the end zone here, they're a score and a half up, and that's going to be hard to overcome.
And the quarterback gets hit as he gets rid of it, and it's an interception. It's taken out of there. And up the right sideline. Wow. What an interception by Mullins.
And that was what we got to find it. That was that was Anthony Campbell on the interception. And we'll see the replay right here, and he got hit throwing the ball, so he didn't get it out clean. It just kind of came up, and
see, wow. They have 10, that's number 10, and we don't have a number 10 on our roster.
Yes, we do.
We do?
We do. That's Anthony
Campbell.
Anthony
Campbell. Okay, he's not listed on my 2D. So Anthony Campbell, I was looking at Lakeview. I'm sorry, you're right. Campbell, a 5'7", 160-pound junior. As the quarterback was hit, that could be a huge turning point on the first play of the fourth quarter. 36 minutes plus in the book. And it's a 6-point lead for the home team, but Mullins is on their half of the field now.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see them involve their quarterback extensively in the running game here.
Jalen Mills got the tackle, but, I'm sorry, it was Tyree 4 on the tackle. But you've got 2nd down and 8. Moving from right to left, Naz Bethea. Here comes the rush from the left side this time. Naz gets rid of it. He may have been across the line of scrimmage. The pass is complete.
Yeah, I think that's the call you're going to get, Alan. Yeah. I think you made a good call on that. We got a flag over there, and I think he hit the nail on the head.
That is the right call.
And yet, it was a good call.
Yeah, he was across the line of scrimmage when he let the football go. Pass was complete, but it's going to come back.
Boy, I tell you, Naz throws the ball as well on the run as I've seen in a while.
Big, lanky body.
And he's got such good touch on the ball. Like, that was a touch throw then. Mm-hmm. If he'd have thrown that on the B, the guy wasn't open.
Yeah, so being across the line of scrimmage is an illegal pass. So it's going to cost him, I believe that's a 10-yard penalty. Might be only 5 yards, but it does bring it all the way back.
Well, the thing about it is, it doesn't matter if it's 5 or 10.
It's 5.
Lakeview's glad they got it.
Yeah, Lakeview is fortunate because Mullins would have been deep in their territory early here in the fourth quarter.
And I think you're going to see more of that type game from Mullins going forward. And, really, that's where they had the most success, when he's been able to evade the first tackler and then look down the field, because it's hard to cover for that length of time.
Elijah Paradise, who had a big season last year as a sophomore, comes in at the nose tackle position. Number 63. And it's 3rd down and 13 and a timeout to Mullins. That's their the public address announcer says their 3rd and final timeout. But that was their second one. But let's go ahead and take timeout ourselves with a 20-14 lead for Lakeview. Wild Gators in front of the Conway Medical Center. Friday night rivals on CW21.
Unless you're sure an item can be recycled, don't do it. Wishful thinking and/or laziness can result in millions of dollars in removing contaminants. In Horry County, the following items are recyclable: plastic jugs and bottles, glass jars and bottles, aluminum cans, both steel and metal cans, cardboard, newspaper and magazines, office paper, and junk mail. Visit www.solidwasteauthority.org or recycleratesc.org for more info on how to recycle right, South Carolina.
Clogged toilets? Is your kitchen sink backed up? Do you have a leaking faucet? Call the experts at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing and let us help with any of your plumbing problems. We repair leaky or broken water heaters, fix frozen pipes, unclog sewer lines, and even repair garbage disposals. We're here for you 24 hours a day, and we still don't charge to come out during regular business hours. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Early first quarter, make that early fourth quarter. Stay tuned for the school bus stop. Play of the game, the stop of the game during the fourth quarter. We'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA, the NHTSA. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the bus stop is out and the red lights are flashing, and it's paid for by NHTSA. Here's a pass across the field from the right hash to the left hash. It's caught, and it's going to be close to a first down.
And that tackle was made by Gabriel Lee, but I tell you, Seth Dees may have gotten the first down, like you said.
Excellent pass. Terrence Alford.
And Dees looks like he's cramping up right now. He's going to need to come out a little bit. He's walking like he got something broke.
Actually, that's Littlejohn, Andre Littlejohn.
Oh, that's Littlejohn?
Yeah, Littlejohn is cramping up, and that they're going to put a stop to this one a little bit. But, yeah, he's upset, very upset. He made the catch and came up about a half a yard from the first down, and now they're going to push. That hurts so much. I was at Clemson a couple of years ago, walking up and down those hills at Clemson. Now, boy, I got cramps in both legs.
I was always told that you got to have muscles in order to get cramps.
Oh, I got cramps now. I got cramps. But I tell you what. All right.
Have you ever seen somebody?
20-14 is the score, Lakeview. But let's go talk to the good folks at A&I Fire and Water Restoration.
They better hurry.
Here with Todd Setzer from A&I. Thank you for joining us. 6 years together putting on this show, helping put on this show for Friday Night Rivals. Why is this something that you like to be a part of?
A&I Fire and Water Restoration have been engaged in this community for 51 years, and so this is kind of a natural fit for us. And who doesn't love high school football? So I know the kids are back in school now, and so in the markets that we service, and so we're just happy to be a part of it, and so ready for Friday night to see the guys back on the football field and showcasing all their skills and their abilities.
Yeah, 51 years in the community. You guys are certainly well known, but you also know more people moving here every day. You see the houses going up. So if people are unfamiliar, talk a little bit about what you guys do.
So we're a fire and water restoration company, so anything disaster restoration, and so mainly insurance restoration work. And so 24/7 company, anything they would ever need for their home or their business, we can take care of it for us. And you can find us at our website, www.ai-restoration.com, or you can call us anytime, 24/7, 843-448-8485.
Thanks to A&I Fire and Water Restoration, we had a play, and a flag is down. I didn't see what happened, but Naz Bethea picked up the first down, and I think he's going to have yards added to it.
It was a face mask call, and that was a big play for them. They went for it. I know we didn't get that on TV, but we had a kind of a cue draw, and who else's hands would you put the ball in that situation? They needed that first down to stay alive in this game, and they have it. And so now Lakeview's got their back to the wall defensively.
Without question. Lakeview is trying to stop him, and, boy, he had the receiver open, but tossed it a little short of the intended receiver, Tyrone Allen.
Yeah, and again, the important thing with Naz is just get somebody to and get somebody in his face, but you got to have two people to sack him. Because if you don't have a bracket on him, he's going to get loose. He's just too daggum quick.
So single setback with twin receivers to the right, one to the left. He's sitting in the pocket, fires to the near side. It's caught. Nice job by Amir Lee. Lee on the catch.
Down at the 15.
And they are now inside the Robinson Community College red zone, 1st and 10 at the 15.
And we still got a lot of football to be played, Alan. I mean, we're looking at 10 minutes roughly playing. And, heck.
Yeah. Players cramping up. Hopefully they'll be fine the rest of the way.
And I got a note from my daughter-in-law that at the start of the fourth quarter at Summerville, it's still 7-7. But we have the ball, she said.
So that's South Florence, by the way, the we part. And
they
Naz
finally get a sack on Naz. He better protect that ball.
Yeah, he's the whistle.
I thought he was in a bad position there.
I thought you're right, Coach. I thought he was going to try to toss one downfield while he was in the grass.
Yeah, he did the right thing and pulled that thing in at the last second.
So that's going to back him up.
And that tackle
12 yards.
Yeah, and that tackle was made by Gabriel Lee. And one of the few times they've tackled him in the backfield.
2nd down and 21, an 11-yard loss on the play. But they kept possession. That's the important thing.
Yeah, and I tell you, they have made a lot of big plays tonight. I'd be curious to see what the average yardage was on their big plays.
But outside the Robinson Community College red zone now. They're going to go deep into the end zone. He's wide open for the touchdown. That's Anthony Campbell. Is it coming back?
We got a flag, and I thought I saw a bear hug in the line of scrimmage, and that may be what that is. And what they did then, they ran a wheel route out of the backfield. Naz rolled to the right, which they were playing zone coverage, so they all rolled to the right with him, and the back was wide slap open. They're talking to that corner now and telling him to stay his behind home.
Mark Lowry is going to walk the floors tonight, Coach. How many nights have you stayed up all night long worried about, mistakes like that? And I know it's their first game of the season. I get it. But when you make mistakes like that cost you points.
It does, but you got to play off of it too, and you got to coach off of it, and that's the important thing. And Mark's smart enough to do that.
I can tell you as an assistant coach, as many years that I did, that I had a lot of sleepless nights, Coach. A lot of sleepless nights. You got DeQuavius Smith is lining up at the H-back on the left. Twin receivers this way. One to the right. Single setback. 2-step drop. They got a hold in the backfield. No flag this time. The Lakeview fans are upset. And Naz Bethay's going to make them pay for it. Naz is still on his feet all the way into the end zone.
He's in the end zone. Ball came out. Not sure when. No,
he was in. He was in before he fumbled.
First. Touchdown
he
first.
was in the end zone before he fumbled. But the Lakeview fans are just upset, and I don't blame them because I saw the hold myself. Like 75. 75 had a hold of the jersey the whole way, and they didn't throw the flag on that one, and Naz Bethay made them pay. Taking it all the way
I tell you what,
for a touchdown.
Bethay in the open field is extremely greasy.
Boy, you're right. Slippery as an eel.
Now, let's see. I can't. We're looking at 20-20 right now. It'd be nice to be able to kick an extra point right here.
Yeah, they haven't.
But
Neither team has kicked.
No. There got to be a kicker between here and Mullins.
Well, they're going to go to try to take the lead with just over 8.5 minutes to play in the ball game. What's the numbers there, Coach?
That was a 5-play, 52-yard drive, and then the touchdown run was 36 yards, but they probably gained 100 yards on that drive.
Yeah, there were tons of penalties.
This is a big two-pointer here. Maybe not.
So are they going to back him up again?
Mullins was penalized for whatever reason. I don't know what it was.
They've had more penalties on 2-point conversions than I've ever seen. Well, they do the reverse, kind of a jet sweep reverse. No, that didn't happen, so they stop them short. So we've got an even ball game
and
with 8.5 to go.
Bryce King and Seth Deese made that play, and they were sitting there waiting on it. So Coach had them coached up on that one.
So Mullins scores the tying touchdown, but can't take the lead with a 2-point conversion. So we are knotted at 20.
I tell you what,
8.5 to go.
Alan, I'm taken aback a little bit just by Bethay's athleticism. He is so daggum he's just a deceptive runner.
Yeah, he's been hard to tackle tonight. Like you said, slippery. Slippery as an
He's
eel.
He's got excellent speed. It doesn't look like he's running that fast, but he's got great lateral movement as well. And if you make a little mistake, he's going to make you pay.
So Worley ready to kick it away again. I don't think I've ever seen a right-footed kicker approach the football from the right side. But that's what he's doing.
Well, that's because he's trying to kick it over here.
Over to the left, right.
Yeah.
It's a Mr. Sparky kickoff, and I don't know that they know who's supposed to be on the special teams. They're adding people left and right. Uh-oh. This is it. Well, he kicked this. That's. Oh, why did they touch it? Coach, that was going to be Lakeview's ball all the way. It didn't go 10 yards. But a Lakeview player went and touched it. Why would you do that?
Because you're dealing with 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and I got coaches that would touch it. So you know they're going to get on that ball, and I would rather see them. I'd rather see them get on that one than not get on one that goes 10 yards. I'll put it that way.
Listen, Richard Thompson did a great job of covering it for Lakeview, but goodness gracious.
The fact that he touched it, though, had he not covered it, made it a live ball.
Right. If he'd just leave it alone, they would have had the football right there no matter what.
But, you know, people say, well, why did – it is hard to get 60 kids to listen while you're explaining that in practice.
Right. Well, it didn't go 10 yards. It was going to be Lakeview ball either way until the Gators touched it, and
let's see
then
what
it became a live ball.
See what the Gators can do with this one, because they've got great field position.
We got twin backs to either side of Price, and he hands off to Clark. And Clark, who took one to the house to start the second half.
Off tackle power.
He went 65 yards on the first carry of the second half, and he carries for about 15 here. And that is first down with 8 minutes and 15 seconds on the rolling clock. They want to use as much of this clock as they can and put points on the board at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
I tell you, the 2-point conversions may end up being a big deal tonight.
Mm-hmm. Twins left, one right. Twin setback, same play. Counter left to Clark, and Clark goes for 7 more. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
You know, it looked like they had Clark in the backfield then, but he just lowered his pads a little bit and got some more yardage.
He's a little guy, only 5'5", 140, but packs a punch.
Well, that 5'5" will tell you that 140 is more than you think it is.
Yeah, packs a punch. Price comes back in the ball game, and it's hard to believe he was the center on this team last year.
It's not hard for me to believe when they try to hit him.
Yeah. And now the quarterback.
He's
2nd down,
well.
3. Inside the Robinson Community College red zone. From the red zone to the real world, and Clark, quarterback keeps it himself on the Q counter. Everybody thought Clark had it this time as they went after him, and Price picked up the first down.
Yeah, and they didn't want to hit him in the thigh.
No, he's got a torso on him, that's for sure.
Yes, he does. And where they got that spotted, It
That's
looks
a bad
maybe
spot
a
again.
little bit short, but it's hard to tell.
That's a bad spot.
And we got a flag, Alan. I didn't
Well,
see
of
it,
course.
but they say it's down. And it looks like in the position where they would be holding.
Well, it's pretty much this game is almost mirroring last week, Coach, where the first half
we
had hardly nothing in the first half, and here in the second half we had penalty galore.
Yeah, and I tell you, honestly, what happens with that, Alan, is kids get a little tired.
Yep.
And when you get tired, you're prone to stupidity.
Start grabbing and poking and prodding and, just to try to keep up. I get it. But it's a face mask against Mullins, so it moves the ball all the way down to around the 10-yard line. Make it, around inside the 10, about the 7. So it's first and goal from there. Price off the counter again to Clark. Clark inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be second and goal from there.
And we're seeing Lakeview get a little more movement up front than they have been getting. And again, the game wears on you, and then I think by the fourth quarter and toward the end of the fourth quarter, you know what is your best play at that point in time.
We're approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter.
And
Under
I think
6.5.
Lakeview's going to be very happy to take 6 more plays to get in the end zone right here.
I agree. I think if they could use 6 more plays to get in, they would do it. But it's second and goal from the 3.
But don't minimize this 2-point conversion.
Twins again. This time it's the Q counter. The quarterback straight ahead. They're trying to rip the ball out. He gets to the 2-yard line, so it'll be third and goal from the 2.
That's some tough yardage down there, baby.
And Price is hurt. Price is coming out of the game, it looks like.
Looks like he's grabbing his wrist or his elbow.
Elbow, maybe. Time out on the field. We'll take it with him. We're under halfway through the fourth quarter. It's still a 20-20 ball game, and Lakeview's knocking on the door on the CMC Friday Night Rivals on CW21.
Clogged toilets? Is your kitchen sink backed up? Do you have a leaking faucet? Call the experts at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing and let us help with any of your plumbing problems. We repair leaky or broken water heaters, fix frozen pipes, unclog sewer lines, and even repair garbage disposals. We're here for you 24 hours a day, and we still don't charge to come out during regular business hours. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your healthcare is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
Back at Jewel McLaurin Stadium in Lakeview. And, Coach, our little spotter boy here, and I shouldn't call him a boy, he looks like a grown man, but our spotter man plays baseball here at Lakeview. And Lakeview's baseball team has historically been terrific as well. I know their quarterback last year, Kason Herlong, was a state baseball player of the year a couple of years ago. And Lakeview played for the state championship for, I think, the 3rd year in a row last year. Is that right? 2nd or 3rd year? And you won it back in 21, did you say? They won it in 21, so.
I remember Lakeview baseball back when I used to play baseball.
Yeah.
And Coach Pate was here at the time, and he was the baseball coach and the Legion baseball coach.
And I think we both have a good friend that played a little baseball and football here at Lakeview, didn't he?
Who you talking about, Renfro?
Yeah.
He wasn't a baseball player.
He wasn't much of a baseball player.
He wasn't much of an athlete.
Oh, okay. As backup quarterback is in the ball game, and he takes it into the end zone to give him a lead.
I missed it because you had me talking about Renfro.
Paul yelled out the backup quarterback's in the game.
Well, let's see if we got it again.
It's Landon King.
It's Landon King, and I think that is Daryl's nephew, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He just did a little keep. He faked the zone, the inside zone, and kept it. Now, what happened there, that would not have been a play that was good for
Chase Price?
For Price.
Yeah.
Because Price doesn't have that little quick spurt of acceleration, and that's what Landon brought to the party then.
Yeah, Landon King.
Don't minimize this two-point conversion.
Single setback, 2-point conversion. See if they run the same play. No, they hand it off to Clark, and Clark is gobbled up right at the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, we've had what? One 2-point conversion.
Each team has had one.
From each team tonight?
Each team has had one.
That was a 5-play, 37-yard drive, ended on a 2-yard run, and importantly, it took 3:06 off the clock. And, hey, this is the drive of the game for Mullins.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's that was the drive of the game for Lakeview, and Mullins has got to answer back here with just under 5 minutes to go, or just under five and a half.
And what's going to happen with this time frame, if Lakeview is able to get the ball back without a score, they're grinding it well enough at this point that I think they can kill the clock. But at the same time, Mullins can get down the field in a hurry.
Well, we mentioned Tim Renfro a moment ago, who was a star baseball and football player here at Lakeview and later on at Wofford. I was very upset when I heard earlier this week that his son was cut by the Carolina Panthers. And the Panthers, owner is a horrible human being to begin with. So,
well, Hunter has had a great career. He had a great career at Clemson. He had a great career at Socastee High School, and a great career with the Raiders. And
I might have watched the Carolina Panther game this year.
Yeah,
if they had to cut him.
And yet, when you get in that league, you got to be at the very top of your game consistently. And I know he was nursing a little hamstring injury in camp, and sometimes that's all it takes.
No question. I did hear that there's talk of them possibly hiring him back or signing him back, but the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars are also looking at Hunter Renfro as well. Here's Naz Bethea. Bethea breaks out 2 tackles, 3 tackles, 4 tackles across the 30. So he turned nothing into something. About a 6-yard gain. Should have been tackled in the backfield.
Bethea's a baller now. I've been impressed with him tonight. He has been the most impressive player on the field, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. At the same time, he's got a long bill to get down the field against this Gator defense.
Kanazian Bethea threw for 1,284 yards last year, ran for 491, which the tops on in both categories for Mullins, and I'm sure he'll do it again. This time he steps up in the pocket, throws it short of his intended receiver, Justin Reeves.
And that's one of the few misses he's had. Matter of fact, I was going to ask Paul what his completion percentage has been tonight, because it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I think I said earlier that Mark Lowry, 7-14 in his career. Well, he was 7-4 last year, so all 7 wins he's got was last season. And he's trying to pick up win number 1 in their season opener tonight. They were supposed to play Hemingway last week, but Hemingway on Monday decided to shutter their season. This one is batted down by Lakeview. What a great play by J.T. Atkinson, who returned that interception for a touchdown.
I'm going to tell you who made the great play there was the receiver, because that ball should have been picked, and he went in and pulled it out, which gives him another down. And that's hard to do, what that kid just did.
Yeah. Atkinson intercepted the first quarter pass and took it back 51 yards for a touchdown to give them the early lead, 8-0. But Mullins has answered back now, but it's 4th down. 4th and 5. So single setback. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. He's got time to throw. He's got an open receiver. He's got a first down and a little bit more.
Get out of bounds.
He's still trying to fight for more yardage across the 45. to the 46, and that is.
Boy, you're talking about a big-time throw.
Well, yeah. That was a Myrtle Beach Hyundai first down. What are they doing moving that football back to the 43-yard line? He got across the 45.
Yeah, I think he stepped out as he was jigging and jagging up in there.
Maybe he did. I can't see the sideline from here, so. All right. So it's still a first down.
And that's of no consequence, really, because they got to go 57.
3 yards is nothing. But still, it's 1st and 10, Mullins. Twin receivers right, one to the left. Here comes a heavy rush off the left. Now it's going to be Nasbathe. He hurdles one guy, and the football comes out, and Mullins picks it back up. Watch out. They're going to end up losing some yards. The ball came out.
No, he did not recover that ball.
I don't think he did either,
He did not
Coach.
recover that ball.
I think his foot was on the line. I think his foot was on the line.
His foot was on the line, and this official has it. His foot was on the line. He did not recover that ball.
I think that's exactly the right call, Coach. Darrell King begs to differ.
He made the right call. His foot was on the line, and he was still bobbling.
When he got possession,
you watch it right here.
When he got possession, his foot was on the line, but this is a wild play.
It is wild, sure enough. And this game has been wild. That was a fumble. I mean, that ball's out and it's down.
Out.
And then he golly, this is wild. All right, watch it come out right here. Oh, they not going to get that. Oh, you're killing me.
Yeah, the foot was on the line. I'm with you, Coach. I'm agreeing with you. The foot was on the line.
He picked it up with 1 foot in the playing field and 1 foot on the line.
Yeah. So it's going to be 2nd down and 5.
That was an excellent call. I got to give officials kudos on that because that was a great call.
So after all that, it's 2nd and 5. 2 fumbles and a 5-yard pickup, and downfield, it's intercepted. Lakeview is going to get this one on the return. Intercepted.
Stay in bounds.
By Jalen Clark. Clark inbounds back to the 43-yard line. And a Mullins player's down. Here's the CMC replay, Coach.
CMC replay, and you know, that was a risky throw because it was a long throw down the field into coverage. But not, you know, he made a great play on that ball. There's no question about it.
He played that ball perfect.
And he's so smart coming back up the field and staying in the playing field.
Mm-hmm. So Jalen Clark on the interception and return into Mullins territory at the 44-yard line. And we're down to 3:18 to play. And Mullins has no timeouts, Coach. They can't stop the clock.
They gave up their timeouts in the third quarter. And, you know, Alan, here, too, when you look at who's had an impact on this game, nobody has had a bigger impact than the quarterback.
Nas, yeah.
But at the same time.
It was a tough throw, but it was right on the money.
Yeah, it was a tough throw. And here's the thing. When you throw it up in these situations, when the defense is playing back, they're going to be able to spy you.
Yeah. Obviously, we got to pick our star of the game and from HTC, Coach. And I tell you what, Nas has been the best player on the field.
Well, there's no doubt.
But you got to. Does it have to come from the winner?
I think it needs to come from the one that's had the most impact on the game.
But
whatever
when we give the HTC game ball after the game, it'll have to be to one of the players on the winning team.
Well, Nas has been an enjoyment for me to watch.
He certainly
has.
But
I would venture to say that there's been some guys on that Lakeview defense that played thumbs up tonight.
Lance Jackson is in the backfield along with Tyree Four. They give it off to Four, I believe. Or was that Jackson? No, it was Jackson.
I imagine this is when you want one coach on the sideline telling you how much time should be left on the clock, and you want to wind it down to 2 seconds and snap the ball then.
Under 3 minutes to play, and a 6-point lead for Lakeview. They've got the football, and Mullins cannot stop the clock.
And this is also when you have your chart out, and you got your time chart. Mm-hmm. And so with Mullins has no timeouts left. So with none left, they can run 1 minute and 40 seconds off the clock if they don't get a first down.
Well, they committed a penalty. A false start will stop the clock.
And I think that was on the motion guy. I think he had actually turned upfield, but I'm not sure.
Wow. Side judge on the far side of the field called that penalty on Lakeview. It will stop the clock with 2:27. Back them up 5 yards. It'll be second down, and we'll call it 13 after a 2-yard pickup on first down. But they do start the clock back after the penalty. So it's running down to 2:18, and they're going to use as much of it as they can. Side judge holding. Yeah, you're right. I think Darrell King has got somebody telling him when to snap the ball, the signal to snap the football. They give it to Jackson again. Lance Jackson, the 5'9", 150-pound senior, gets one maybe, so it'll be third down and 12.
And we got Price back in the ball game, and I tell you, the reason I want Price back in that ball game right now is if we do have to punt the football, he's the guy I want in there. And that was Javion Howard on the tackle then for Mullins.
So I'm sure that Mark Lowry would love to have a couple of those third quarter timeouts back. He called one right at the beginning of the fourth quarter, but two in the third quarter.
Yeah, and they can't run the clock out with these two plays. They need a first down to be able to run the clock out. They don't have a timeout. They won't have much time at all, though.
Well, Lakeview took the timeout. So
well, and that's not a bad timeout for Lakeview. And you made the call.
I did?
No, I'm saying you said Lakeview made
Lakeview did call the timeout. And so Mullins has it with the penalty and the timeout by Lakeview, they at least keep their hopes alive.
Well, and I think that Coach King knows that he can't run the clock out, so he wants to make sure he takes care of some other things.
West Florence has jumped on top of Myrtle Beach, 38-35.
Wow.
In the fourth quarter now. Ainer is leading St. James by 10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I was looking. South Florence is up on Somerville 14-7, and not sure where it is in the game.
Fireworks galore at Carolina Forest, the final 55-33.
Was that at Carolina Forest?
Yeah, at Carolina Forest.
I tell you what, when you score 55 points on a Hartsville defense, you've done something. Now, they may be subpar for the normal Hartsville defense, but them cats usually fly around and hit you in the mouth.
Third down and 13. The handoff is to Lance Jackson. Jackson is going to carry a couple of defenders with him back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be fourth down and a full 10, and they're going to let the clock run. It's under a minute.
They're going to let it run down, and I think they're going to punt them down. I'd be surprised if they didn't get in the shotgun, back up, snap the ball, and punt it, because I'm going to put Naz's behind on as long of a field as I can.
But I wouldn't want to
so dynamic.
Put that ball back in his hands.
No, not at all. But they're going to be forced to. The clock's going to force them to. Yeah, they're going to call timeout when they milk it down as far as they can go, which is at 28 seconds.
Yeah.
They're going to have to punt it, and they'll probably get one more play out of that.
So we're down to our final few minutes. The HTC game ball. If Lakeview holds on, Coach, I think got to be Price for leading the charge all night long, or because Clark didn't play as much. Seth Deese has been good, though, on both sides of the ball.
I think Deese has been excellent. I think, they've had Deese has been on both sides of the ball, too.
Yeah, both sides.
And then, golly, I agree with you on Price that he's just been so consistent the entire game. And of course, we tend to lean on the offensive guys, but defensively they've had some great guys that stepped up. I think Landon King has played extremely well all night. I've heard his name called, but I would be inclined to go with you. Atkinson has played well at cornerback, but I'd be inclined to think that Deese had as much impact on both sides of the ball as anyone.
I would agree with that. So we'll go number 6, Seth Deese, as our player of the game if
they hang on.
They hang on, because Naz is about to get the ball back with less than 30 seconds to play. Here they come after it, and my goodness, they're going to get it back and run the clock out because they roughed the kicker, and that's going to do it.
And they're going to be able to ice the game right here.
Yeah, that's a pure roughing the kicker penalty.
Yeah, and yet I wouldn't be upset with my kids in this situation.
No, they had to come after.
They had to come after the ball. They'd be willing to hit the kicker, hoping to get the ball as well.
So Lakeview is going to get it back. That was a personal foul, 15-yarder that will march the ball down the field for Lakeview, and now all they've got to do is kneel it one time, and the game will be in the books as an automatic first down on the personal foul against Lakeview. Against Mullins. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. And like I said, Price is only going to need to kneel it one time, and that'll be the game. And the Gators will escape, literally, this one, because Naz Bethea was hot tonight. He was a hard man to get on the ground.
Well, and he was hard to get on the ground against a very good defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I was extremely impressed with that kid's athleticism and just savvy for the game.
So that'll do it. Lakeview is going to win game number 2 of this year. They won their first game against Marion last Thursday night, 26-13, and they win tonight by a score of 26-20, and Mullins loses their season opener. All right, we'll take time. Go ahead, Coach, real quick.
I was going to say, I tell you, I was impressed with both of these football teams tonight. This was a tough-played, hard-played football game. I thought the officials did a good job. I thought it was a well-played game from top to bottom.
We love coming to Lakeview, and thank you to Ms. Huggins and the entire Lakeview staff. We'll come back with the post-game wrap-up, HTC Game Ball, award the trophy, and more. The win for the Lakeview Wild Gators tonight over Mullins, 26-20 on the Conway Medical Center Friday Night Rivals.
14-14. And
DIY? How about DDIY? Don't do it yourself. Leave it to the professionals. Benjamin Franklin is your plumbing expert. We can take the hassle out of your home's plumbing. We can handle whole house repipes, unclogging your drains, installing water heaters, and help with any natural gas or inspections. And we're always there for you 24 hours a day. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move, in the moments you choose motion over stillness, in every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Sometimes unwanted guests show up unannounced, and they refuse to leave. They make themselves at home, making life uncomfortable. But that's when you call A&I to show that unwanted guest the door and keep them from coming back. You can rely on A&I to kick mold out for good.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. You either earn your stripes or you see your number slashed off the list. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Back inside the Jewel McLaurin Stadium at Lakeview as the Wild Gators win game number 2 this year in week number 1. Yeah, I know that's how it works. Week 0 was a win on Thursday night against Marion, and tonight it's a win for the Gators on Friday night in Mullins' season opener. And a big win for Lakeview tonight. And we're going to go down to the field with our friend Rodney Berry with head coach Darrell King in just a couple of minutes. But we'll give the HTC game ball, and we've got the bus stop of the night coming up as well, and the trophy. And we're all right, the drive of the game. So we got to talk about that one, Coach. At the very end, the Lakeview Wild Gators made sure that they were able to march the football down the field and get the victory. So, and that is your drive of the game, the Myrtle Beach Hyundai, and drive of the game. Appreciate that. And sponsored by Myrtle Beach Hyundai. They sponsor our first downs, some of our replays, and, of course, the drive of the game. And it's time to go down to the field now and talk with our friend. Not yet, says our director. Okay, well, Coach, as you said throughout the second half, both of these teams. All right, it's time for the stop of the game, the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA, NHTSA. Law in every state requires drivers to always stop for the school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing, paid for by NHTSA, and they stopped it right at the end with this interception.
This is the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Go.
This is the stop of the game, the school bus stop of the game, and that was a big one. And they returned it and then got the roughing the kicker penalty to be able to hang on to the football and run the clock out.
And that interception, I think, given enough snaps, they were going to put the ball in the end zone.
Well, I think so, too. And Lakeview just did everything they needed to do against a very tough quarterback tonight in Naz Bethea. And here you see it once more, the interception that ended the game for the Mullins Auctioneers. The Friday night rivals stop of the game, the bus stop of the game. All right, well, let's see it.
We're going to see it
one
again.
One more time.
Baby.
Yeah, why not?
I love the wall back there.
Yeah, I do too.
Lakeview Wild
the Wild Gator Law.
There's no doubt where you are around here.
This is the school bus stop of the game, presented by NHTSA. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Okay.
And it's going to present the trophy and the HTC game ball. Take it away, Rodney.
A game. I tell you, anybody that came out here today got their money's worth. I'm here with Coach King, and Coach, what a gutsy game.
Yeah, it was gutsy. I mean, that's what I was thinking about a while ago. You know, it was a little sloppy but gritty. I mean, they had a lot of fight in them, a lot of grit in them. Come out here and fought. They come back, tied the score up, and we were able to take the ball and go right back down the field. You know, that says a lot about these young men behind me.
Yeah. Well, we talked before the game that you guys were a little bit undersized compared to Mullins, but that's never stopped a scrappy Lakeview team.
No, we talked about it, man. We got one kid on defense over 200 pounds, and everybody else is 180 and below. But they just fly around, get to the ball, make plays. I'm super proud of them tonight.
Yeah. Again, an effort team-wide. Guys, you did fantastic, fun to watch. But Mr. D's played on both sides of the ball, and today you are the HTC game ball recipient. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any comments?
We just played a good game, and we knew we had to get our get back from last year.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Okay, guys, next what we have here is the Conway Medical Center. This is game 1. This is for you guys. How about it, Gators? Yeah. Guys, what a game. Back to you.
Thank you, Rodney. Appreciate that. And congratulations to Darrell King and the Lakeview Wild Gators for win number 2 on the 2025 season. And, Coach, next week we are back in the PD once more. Looking forward to it. And so hopefully we'll have our Northwestern South Florence game right here on the CW 21. Yeah. Chirral at Darlington on the mothership in 2 weeks. And then it's one final time in the PD, East Clarendon at Lake City. First time we've been to Lake City on the game of the week.
Yeah, and it'll be good to go. They played good football over the years. I got to interject this. Right now we got South Florence next week, and they are right now going into overtime. Tied at 14 down at Summerville.
Summerville. They have
now I've been to Summerville enough to know they'll cheat you in overtime.
Well, that's a tough game, no question. Stick around on ABC 15 at 11:20 tonight. You've got Brandon Dunn and the End Zone, the best highlight show throughout the PD and the Grand Strand, and even into North Carolina, they'll have some scores. So thank you for that, Brandon. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Coach, see you next week at South Florence, where your son is coaching.
I'll be there, baby.
All right, my friend. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to the folks here at Lakeview. As always, we love being here. And for head coach Chuck Jordan and our friend Paul Gable, I'm Alan Smothers saying so long, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cecil Chandler. What do you look for when you're buying a new car? A great warranty, a great price, and great safety features? Myrtle Beach Hyundai has all of that. The Kona has 2.99% interest rate for 48 months with leases starting at $249. The Tucson has 3.99% interest rate for 72 months with leases starting at $229. And remember, no payments for 90 days. Come see us at Myrtle Beach Hyundai, South Carolina's #1 Hyundai dealership.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your health care is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. You either earn your stripes or you see your number slashed off the list. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Do you feel guilty or ashamed because you got hurt on the job? Like you're letting your employer down? Listen, getting hurt while working does not make you a bad employee. Your employer buys workers' comp insurance to cover these situations. And a good employer should want you to get all the benefits you deserve. For over 50 years, the Joy Law Firm has helped injured workers, and we'd be proud to help you too. Just call Joy, 843-215-3100.
You're watching your CW21.
Here's our host, Brooke Burke.
Welcome to Fool Us. Whether it's slick sleight of hand or enchanting illusions, we showcase all kinds of magic because we never know what will fool the stars of our show. But one thing we do know is that it won't be easy. Now let the games begin as we bring out two of the greatest minds in magic, Penn and Teller. If Penn and Teller can't figure out a trick, they declare that magician to be a fooler and give them the prestigious and shiny Fool Us trophy. Our first winner might be this magician right here.
I'm Ben Jackson. I'm from Houston, Texas. I majored in biomedical sciences with a chemistry minor and a business minor. So when I graduated, I naturally became a magician. I traded medical school for magic. I've made a specialty of using magic to reach people in unexpected ways. When the Houston Museum of Natural Science asked me to be their spokesperson, I created some magical content to boost attendance. I turned ancient papyrus into $100 bills, produced a dinosaur bone from nowhere, and made priceless diamonds magically appear. Oh, missed one. Penn, Teller, I've created this one just for you.
Joined by a random member of our studio audience, Texas magician Ben Jackson.
Come on, Brooke.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Hi.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
Good
you.
to see you.
I'm happy to help if I can.
Oh, you're going to knock it out of the park. Team, before we get started, I want you to know that in high school, I was president of the Latin Club.
Oh.
Which means I was also voted, most likely, to become a magician. Right, Teller? Uh-huh. Yeah, Carpe Diem, brother, right there. Pound it. Tempest Fugit, girlfriend. And you see, Teller taught high school Latin and Greek for 6 years, which means he's familiar with the story of